I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not. No, that's not.
Wait.
Yeah.
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Stairs in the stars with the show, and till then is half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof I'm alive by the motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever. You never know what is a star like under the city, the driver's side fly. Wish I could large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as could be. You can watch on YouTube with viewing for French. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wondering what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on a Monday. Hello, Leroy.
What's up?
Froggy, how are you?
I've had better weekends.
I've had better weekends. Marcos just grabs me in the hug. He goes, "Good weekend?" And I was like, "I've had better weekends. Had better weekends."
It wasn't terrible. And here's how I look at it. To get to the point of disappointment, you had to be excited. Because they won 2 games and did something nobody's ever done. And although yesterday was disappointing, you wouldn't be there if you weren't happy.
It was actually even Heat related, to be honest with you, what he was referring to. It really wasn't even Heat related. Yeah, Heat fans got to stone up a little bit. I mean, I swear to God, it's like the first time you've ever been in the playoffs ever. Whenever you lose a road game and some rando just drops a bunch of threes on you, you'd swear it's the first time it's ever happened to you. Like, usually that's how the first 4 games of a playoff series goes. Who wins the three-point battle? Who is the random guy who got hot at the right time? And is there really any chance for the Heat to get better? I think there are things that the Heat can get better. Certainly it starts with Tyler. Tyler's got to play a lot better than that. He's got to have a bigger impact in the second half. And, he's got to take a little bit of a note from Donovan Mitchell of putting your head in the friggin' buzzsaw every now and then. Donovan Mitchell's flying all over the place, diving after loose balls, battling after Bam Adebayo. That's okay. Look, I get it. If anybody was going to lose that game, if the Cavs would have lost that game, it would have been a joke. Like, you have 2 weeks off, you lose that game? Get the hell out of here. After the Heat just had 2 road games? I do think that that Schmeeth and Schmolik makes a great point, though. Ty Jerome, intangibles? I don't know what the rule. I was doing some research, and I'm a little. I'm gonna say no.
I just had the craziest conversation yesterday. So, Fonz had some friends come over from work, and we knew them all from going there, and it was 2 sisters and a brother. I'm talking because I think they're from Michigan or Michigan fans or something along that line. So we're watching the basketball game, and we get into Hartenstein, and we were talking about intangibles and why we use the phrase intangibles. He goes, Hartenstein, there's an intangible. I'm like, no, not an intangible.
I think Ty Jerome's the same way.
Yeah.
First of all, his name's Ty Jerome. I gotta feel like that's not.
It's short for Tyrone.
Gotta feel like it, right?
You can't. I can say it.
I'm looking at Mr. Jerome here. His father. Yeah, he's got a little seasoning on him.
Right. That's what I thought too. That's what I thought too. I was like, I think he's. But like his Wikipedia, it's just Ty. It's not short for anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
his
really?
name's just Ty.
I'm sure.
Which confuses the situation even more. Right? Because
Stunt Steve says it's Mike McDaniel levels.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. Listen,
he's probably an intangible, but he gives off the vibes.
I will tell you this. Tyler, you owe him something, dude, because he gave you the business yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, he was flexing on your ass, peacocking. You owe him one, Tyler. I'm telling you. That's one of those where you take your 2 days off, but you better be thinking about Ty Jerome flexing on you, moonwalking on the way back. That better be on Tyler Herro's mind the next 2 nights.
Yeah,
When you get ready for Wednesday.
2 things I didn't like, that and that little shove from Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, what was that? What was that? What's his deal?
Well, he was so angry.
You know what made it? What pissed me off the most about it? It's Duncan Robinson minding his own business all the time.
Right?
Duncan Robinson, first of all, Duncan Robinson goes through his life, right? He'll just get called for fouls for no reason. For no reason, right? But in the case he hard fouls somebody, people take such offense to it. You would have thought he punched a grandma. This happened. This happened in the Detroit game. This, of course, happened with the whole Jaylen Brown scenario. So yesterday, was it Jerome that he screened?
Yes.
It was Ty Jerome. So he gets a hard screen on Jerome. It was an offensive foul. Okay, Jerome hits the deck. And Donovan Mitchell just goes and he gives him an old shovski. And right in front of the ref. And the ref did nothing.
Nothing.
He didn't do anything.
He's
Duncan
not-
Robinson. And the ref's he goes, hey, that's Duncan. You could see what hey, that's bull bleep, not a foul. And the ref's just nah, he's Spider. You're Duncan Robinson. That's sorry. That's basically what we just watched happen.
Wait. Duncan's I thought I was through this.
I thought I was through this. You think Duncan Robinson just ever takes out his bank account? He goes, I've made a lot of money in this league. I've been to finals. I have a name. I'm a franchise leader in threes.
I was the fastest person in the NBA history to get to 500 threes.
These goddamn refs are just they treat him like he's a terrorist. They that. Oh, sorry. You got shoved by Spider? Too bad. How's that? Could you imagine the roles reversed there? If Duncan Robinson were to put his hands on any All-NBA player, if he were to put them paws on him, if he put a little shove on Spider or Luka or LeBron or Joke, whoever, they'd take him out in handcuffs. They'd take him out. They would call for suspensions. And Duncan Robinson's just here living his life. He's just living his life. And nobody seems to have a problem with this. This is, how many years has he played this? This is 6th year, 7th year? And the referees treat Duncan Robinson like a bum criminal. Like he's the unclean. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Spider. Was your hand okay from punching Duncan Robinson in the face? Well, he was in my scope there, Ed Malloy. I'm so sorry, Mr. Mitchell. Double technical foul on Robinson. What did I do? Existed. You existed in Spider's atmosphere.
Hey, now I have a question. Does Lent end on Easter?
It does.
Or at the conclusion of Easter? Because Mima gave up ice cream and she went through a bucket.
No, I believe once you get to sunrise of Easter,
And
all bets are off.
we were watching the basketball game, and
you were hosing them down.
No, I didn't, because I wasn't
you
sure.
were scared yesterday. No. You were. It's a new season. Once you get to Easter, you're good.
Soon as George Niang went onto the floor.
Oh, dude.
I'm like, But I didn't do anything.
Not even after that air ball?
I smiled. I maybe internally said if he had more lift, he could get it to the rim. But I didn't say it out loud.
Well, now you can say it out loud.
I know.
Good. You're clear.
But like I said, I'm trying to be a better person.
Oh, man. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory at the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. So the Heat They lose game one, 121-100. Fourth quarter got away from them. Bam Adebayo, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Tyler Herro had 21. Davion Mitchell, 18 off the bench. Donovan Mitchell had 30, and Jerome had 28. They will be off until Wednesday. That is game 2.
The Ty Jerome 28 hurt
the most.
More than Spider's 30.
Yeah, though Spider was awesome, especially in the first half. I mean, he felt like he could not be stopped.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. The Ty Jerome just doing anything he wanted and just hitting every shot. I mean, he had it all where the one-handed fadeaway runner, like that's Tyler's shot. He was hitting it over him, flexing. I was like, oh man.
My thing is, holy smokes. You can't, like, I get Spider's gonna get his, right? But I was watching Kalel and he's like, whew, there's 2 giants in here. And they were just going at him. Whoop, whoop,
welcome to the playoffs. I know. That's the thing. And I hope, I know that
Spo doesn't turtle up.
I hope he doesn't. He turtled up a little, and I understood it because he looked a little deer in headlights, like, because he was in the right spot in a lot of plays, and the ball was just popping off his hand.
Yeah, like he could,
just like silly things. But you're not winning the look. The Heat winning this series is a tall task, but you ain't doing it without the tall,
right?
And you need Kalel Ware out there.
Now, my question to you is: this is another thing I thought about watching the games yesterday. Because I hate the fact, let me start by saying this. I hate the fact that we can't fully appreciate what the Heat did on Friday because they lost since, right? Mm-hmm. But that game on Friday was unbelievable.
Oh, it was awesome. Davion Mitchell was incredible.
Right. But I'm trying to figure out, like, do you just let Kalel run and get, and just take your lumps? Because eventually he's got to go through this, right?
I think so. I think, like, what's the point if we're not, like, he needs to get those chances. And, like, look, I love Haywood Highsmith. They wouldn't have won Friday without Haywood Highsmith. All right.
Yeah, but not with those those giants in the paint.
And by the way, I don't even know who's making I don't even know who you take out in that game, because you could leave Haywood in there for all I care and bench Andrew Wiggins, because Andrew Wiggins decides to show up for a quarter and then deuces.
God, dude. Jesus.
Andrew Wiggins.
Need more than that. I was like, okay, why? Give me Pelle Larsson then, because what is going on with this guy?
Well, the thing that I would say about Wiggins is the reason why they don't give up on him because he's a two-way player.
Is he? I would like to see that. He was on Friday. There's no doubt about that. But let's go. Yes, I need to see more Kalel Ware. And quite frankly, I'll give you one more game. But, I mean, if we get down 0-2, I better see Jović in game 3. I'm just telling you right now.
Is he back yet? He's not back yet.
He's back. He's on the bench. He's back.
He didn't even play?
Didn't play.
Oh, my goodness.
A lot of people didn't play, which I understand the lineups tighten up in the playoffs.
I would say this, though.
Come on.
You think Spo is scared that he put Jović in there, he going to keep getting crossed up by the bigs?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think he should be scared of that.
Now, my other thought during yesterday's activities.
Dade South is correct, though. He points out he played at the end. That's right. He got the garbage time.
I would like to ask you, still feeling good about Ja?
Am I still feeling good about Ja? Yeah, I mean, his team's full of losers, like that Jaren Jackson Jr.
All right.
I mean, like Jaren Jackson Jr. just gets to skate free, huh? Like, this guy's a defensive player of the year. He might be all NBA this year, and everybody.
Now he's trying to shoot threes.
Yeah, not his fault. He's always shot three. He's been a good shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird shot because he looks like a flamingo shooting the ball.
I don't understand how a guy, what is he, 6'10"?
Yeah.
Right? Why does he go down to 5'3" to shoot a three?
Don't know.
Crouching tiger, hidden dragon. He just he's this tall, and then he goes.
That was for sure the most embarrassing performance, though. I mean,
I mean, we in our lifetime, I don't think we've ever seen that.
That was a rough one. That was a rough one.
I mean, it wasn't even close.
Rest of the NBA scores over the weekend. Last night, the Warriors held off the Rockets 95-85. That was a god-awful game.
Awful.
That was a god-awful
I
game.
mean, the halftime score. I mean, what do you say about the halftime score? I mean, the only one that was worse was Memphis, who scored 30.
Yeah, no, it was
in the first half.
It was really bad. I will say that I don't understand why they took Steven Adams out. Like, he was killing them because they went like, oh yeah, they're full of 6'5" guys. Let's go Steven Adams and Şengün. And that was working. And then they're like, nah, we're taking him out. We're gonna put in a guy who's been building a brick house the entire time. I'm like, why not? Go to the guys who are close to the basket.
Right.
Didn't make sense to me, but Steph, I will say, Steph Curry, my God.
It's crazy, right?
I think I saw him do a backflip and hit a 3 yesterday.
Like
he was the only, it was not a great game, especially from the Rockets offensively. Yeesh.
But that's been the issue all year with them, is that excellent defensive team. They're going to keep you well below your average. Are they going to be able to score enough?
Yep. Fred VanVleet, not much from him yesterday. He had some looks, couldn't get anything to drop. Celtics beat the Magic yesterday, and then on Saturday, you had the Timberwolves beat the Lakers, beat them bad, hit every 3 known to man.
It looked like, well, yeah. How long is that going to happen?
I mean, Ant's Ant hit more 3 balls than anybody in the league this year,
right?
More than Steph,
right? That's crazy. That's a stat that goes probably unmentioned enough. You don't realize how many threes he's made.
Yeah. Pacers, they kicked the crap out of the Bucks. Surprise, Damian Lillard and Halliburton got into it. They hate each other.
Why? Why is that? I don't.
Dame should be back for Tuesday's game. Why? I don't know. I think it's Halliburton talks a lot of bleep, but he's done the Dame time and the in all their matchups. Like, they hate each other. It's just like one of those rivalries that's like legit in the league. They do not like each other.
Hey, nothing. I'm a big fan, but can you stop getting texts when you ain't even dressed?
Give him a break. He's had a hard couple of months.
I know he's had a hard couple of months, but damn. Like, you can't go out there and get them 2 points back. And you can't get that point back. You ain't even dressed. And pull your pants down, because it looked like he was wearing knee shorts.
And then tonight, we got game 2 of Nuggets and Clippers. Denver's up 1-0 in that series, and Knicks and Pistons game 2 at 7:30. The Knicks lead that series 1-0.
I think Pistons they don't. It's 2 teams that are probably more equally matched than we think, but they got seasoned veterans on New York's team, and some at points in the game, Detroit looks young.
And then just quickly, I'll give you the NHL scores because that started last night too. Maple Leafs beat the Senators 6-2. These are all game 1s. Hurricanes handle the Devils 4-1. Golden Knights double up the Wild 4-2. So Vegas takes the lead in that series. Panthers are on the practice ice. Their series, of course, gets going tomorrow.
Right.
Panthers and Lightning. We'll take a break. 15 minutes of Heat. We'll hear a little bit from Spo, from Bam, from Tyler on what happened in game 1 as the Miami Heat will get a couple of days off before they take on the Cavs in game 2. Back after this.
15 minutes.
Bum, bum. 15 minutes of heat here for you, brought to you by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia deal in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. Miami Heat, they fall to the Cleveland Cavaliers yesterday, 121-100. Dropped game 1 of their first round series against the Cavs. Game 2 will be Wednesday against the Cavaliers. For those looking for Heat tickets, you want to go to game 3. That'll be Saturday at 1 o'clock. And then Monday will be game 4. Very annoying for the South Florida sports fan because starting Saturday, Panthers and Heat line up game for game, which is really annoying. I mean, just like really annoying.
Same times, everything, huh?
Yeah, like really annoying. How is it like? No, this is now year 3 in a row this has happened. 1 year it was awesome, but yet, I mean, so stressful because it was a Stanley Cup NBA Finals run at the same time, and like they did not give a rat's ass about us at all. So I'm hopeful that can get squared away. But let's hear a little bit from your Miami Heat yesterday after they lose. They won a thriller on Friday to get to this point. In overtime against the Hawks, Davion Mitchell.
You think was a bit of maybe a letdown or something like that, or just out of juice, or because they look like they played with energy?
I don't want to be excused, Megan. I don't think so. I don't think so, but yet I'm sure 2 days off will be beneficial for them.
Right.
Like, I'm sure that had to be high stress,
or maybe even a letdown because the results aren't as critical as they were the last 2 games.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like going from a game 7 to the first game of another series. Like the high of that last game and then going into the next game sometimes is just
the critical.
Right.
Critical. If you go back to last year, the Heat, because the Heat always take 2 games to get into the playoffs now. Last year, they lost game 1 to Boston, and then they had a great game 2. And they ended up getting top hats and monocled, but, I think that they can like this idea that game 1 was critical because Cleveland was going to be rusty. They didn't look very rusty.
No,
didn't look.
There were new guys that looked sharp.
They looked absolutely fine. Their star looked fine. He had 2 weeks, and he had a week plus off.
Right.
So he looked absolutely spry yesterday. So I think that the rest will be beneficial, but I don't want to say that's the reason they lost. I think, Tyler got absolutely annihilated. They were picking on him on defense. That's definitely for one. And, Khalil Ware looked a little brights too light. And I think Andrew Wiggins was, a little bit of a, which is just kind of the Andrew Wiggins. Don't look at me like that. Like that's just kind of the Andrew Wiggins experience so far.
I mean, all right.
What?
I mean,
you would disagree?
Here's what I would say. You're not winning without Andrew Wiggins.
I would agree.
So, and I would like to think that the message has been relayed to him because he has the talent to do it. But I would say this. In the last couple of games, all those paint, layups and stuff like that, they were having a field day. Both Tyler, Wiggins, everybody was getting to the rim.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so with this team. And so when they did that, they were faced with a whole bunch of bodies, and it looked a little clunky at times. So I just think they'll find a better way of navigating through that with all those feet in the paint.
Yeah, I think and I also think that it wasn't even so much the scoring in the paint, but even like some of the passes that got disrupted in the paint. A lot of second chance points, loose balls going Cleveland's way. So I think, I think that was it. Did I say that the Brights were too light?
You did indeed. You did indeed.
-1. I apologize.
Yeah, I was
Hey,
wondering about that, but I mean,
hey, you know what's amazing? I'm usually on my game that we would pick. You too, Marcos.
I
We
heard
usually
it.
like
I heard it.
we usually like
Listen, you've been mixing up sports lately, so I think you're a little.
I know that's why. Wait. In fairness to me, I did not say anything.
Well, speaking of brights are too light or lights are too bright, light bright, night light. Kalel Ware, let's hear on Spo on what his rookie big, what he thought of his first playoff game.
Yeah, and this is the life of a young player. You're being fed through a fire hose. He's important to what we do. He'll get to work. That's the thing I really respect about Kalel. And the areas that he's gotten a lot better, we're going to need in this series.
Hold on.
What's up?
What
do you mean?
It's like being
fed through a fire hose. Instead of like a hamster.
Hold on. First of all, nobody's ever said that.
No, he says. I hear him say that a lot.
No.
I have. I've heard him say that a lot.
No.
Nobody.
No.
How are you going to tell me no? I've heard.
I'm 56 years old, and I grew up in the hood where everybody had their little sayings, and I never heard that.
You understand the saying though. It's coming out very high powered.
I really don't.
Drinking from the fire hose is a metaphor explaining the experience of being presented with an overwhelming amount of new information.
Yeah, it's coming out fast. It's coming at him.
All right. So it exists. It exists. But come on. Don't act like
I've heard him say that though. That's not the first time.
You guys shaking your head like you so with him.
He's used that fire hose line on Kalel Ware at least 8 times this year.
Oh my goodness. This still doesn't make it,
It's a thing. I swear it's a thing. So like when you're getting information at a reasonable rate, is that just drinking from a water bottle? Like, is that?
I don't know, but I know if it doesn't happen as much in football when you can get hit. You seem to get that information at the right appropriate amount of speed.
Dylan says, I love how Mitchell walked away so quickly after pushing Duncan Robinson. You're going to push someone and then don't just walk away. It was such a weird, I think it was like one of these things too, because like people got mad that like none of the Heat retaliated and things like that. It was such a weird thing because like it was, first of all, it wasn't a one-hand, it wasn't a two-hand shove. It was a one-hand shove. Right. And then Duncan Robinson was like, really, dude? Like it was almost like it wasn't even malicious.
Why? I'm curious. I'm curious as to why, that's like when you're on kickoff and you go block the kicker, right? Like, what are we doing? You don't get credit. You don't get street cred for pushing dunks.
You really don't.
Right.
I would have liked some retaliation.
Everybody picks them.
Push Davion. Push H. Right? Push Bam. Like if you want to be a badass, then go ahead on and get your stripes with somebody who can retaliate.
What's your side?
Can I say I'm just tired of being on the wrong side of these altercations. We saw Joker break the back of one of our players, and we all just kind of huddled around. We saw Tyler Herro get thrown to the ground, and we kind of pushed around and stuff. Now the poor Duncan's getting pushed. Why aren't we the aggressors on this?
Because
you want them to start fights.
We don't have the depth. Okay, because here's
fights.
what would happen in the past. Timeout, UD. Go get your 2 minutes.
Dwayne Dedman beat the hell out of that massage gun.
Yeah, that was it. That was the last fight that we won.
He didn't
win
that fight. He got cut.
The last fight we started was amongst ourselves.
That sounds like
it was Jimmy versus Spo.
Correct. Like we're usually on the wrong side of these things.
Well, because I don't think.
Where's Dexter Pittman?
What?
Well, and again, in the past, that would be UD's moment, right? Spo, let me get about 15 seconds. I
only remember one time, like it really, like, somebody picked on Duncan. It was Chris Paul did it to Duncan Robinson, and Jimmy Butler absolutely went nuts on Chris Paul.
Right.
Like he
Waddle Baby Wobble said Trevor Ariza did a push-up on top of Giannis. like, but it is the one sport, and followed by baseball, right? Where everybody huddles up, but ain't nobody really doing nothing.
Oh, I saw that the other day when they threw at McCutcheon, like nothing was happening, and then the guys from the bullpen were there, and like, I guess we gotta, they're here, so we got to do something.
Right.
We got to do something. Like,
everybody's just doing what they're supposed to do, but nobody's doing nothing. Right? They all run out. Everybody comes out. Everybody starts peacocking off the top step. Right? They all huddle. Somebody might push or whatever. And then that's it.
Cap says Strus was loose. He had a few threes in the second quarter there, yeah. I hate his hair. I really do. Like, he's...
I get him confused with the other intangible.
He just, he really thinks he's something now with that gorgeous mane.
I love that Bam interview beforehand, what he felt about Strus.
Well, because they made this big deal about Max Strus. Like, Max Strus was so vocal in the meetings. And I was like, oh, yeah, what did he say? And so, like, first of all the Heat, Bam was like, I don't give an F about Max Strus.
Yeah.
Like, I think he was joking, but also, like, he's not the same guy. Look at that hair. Right?
Well, I would say this.
What was his advice? Pick on Tyler Herro on defense?
I just think the way they got lost was, I think Cleveland made a conscious effort to clog up the paint, right? A lot of hands and bodies in there the whole game. And that's why guys were doing runners. Bam was hitting that free throw jumper, right? We might have a different conversation as far as how the flow of the game went, but he was missing that. So now you had either 3-pointers or runners. Mm-hmm. That was your two options, because they wasn't letting you get to the rim. And so I think in the future, you're going to have to kind of navigate that, either do something to stretch the floor a little bit or get to the rim.
But they are.
And that's where Kalel comes in.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, is like they had Bam. Bam had hit that 3, and it cut it, I think, to a 7-point game. And he eventually sits down, and they go, and then it swings to balloons to a 12-point lead. You're like, like the guy can't sit down. And that's where you need Kalel to step up.
Right. But I think they do it to not overwhelm him. But if you're trying to win,
overwhelm him. Like, let's go. What are we doing? Overwhelm him.
If you're trying to win and you see the way these games are being played, you got to just go to him and say, fight through it, big fella.
Look, either overwhelm him or put Jović out there. You can't have Bam out there and you're not going to.
He can't play the 5, though.
He has. Like, have somebody out there who's tall, make rebounds.
He's not as good as he is on the perimeter, right? So you would probably, just to put Jović in and put him at the 5, you would probably be putting him at a worse position.
He'd be fine defensively. His big problem is honestly taking advantage of matchups offensively on smaller guys. That's his biggest issue, using his size.
Right.
Like, they need to unlock that, because if you're going to go in this series and you think you're going to slow-mo, and I love Haywood Highsmith. Don't get me wrong. Haywood Highsmith has a role in this series, but it's not to be
tall,
the backup to Bam.
It's not to be tall.
It's like, he's going to be flying all over the place and getting tip-ins. Like, he's huge. He was huge in the play-in game, but like, I need to, you got to have a sink or swim series with Kalel. You just do. And it's not, it's one of these things where it's like, to me, it's the most critical thing. You got a monster matchup here for him. It's a perfect test for him. It's a hard test for him, and a hard test is good for him.
Right. I would say, they said, wasn't he starting? Jimmy J said, wasn't he starting versus Boston last year? But Boston has a lot of perimeter bigs. So they're not just posting up in the paint. Cleveland has a lot of guys that basically just post up in the paint.
No, I mean, they got two guys. They got two big guys.
Yeah, but
two very big guys.
Yeah.
Mobley.
Yeah.
Here's Tyler Herro on Ware. This is what Boy Wonder had to say on his rookie center.
Yeah, it's huge. I think obviously Khalil being in that environment, going through his very first playoff game, probably hit him, surprised him a little bit. But he'll be better, and he'll continue to improve and figure out what works in these series. And obviously we need him big time if we're gonna compete in this series.
Agreed. They're gonna need him. We'll take a break. Swing things over on the ice as the Panthers getting ready for their series tomorrow night. Back after this.
The Heat opened up.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to the road to repeat here. Brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
Virtual vibe here.
Oh. Is it cold?
Ice cold.
Oh, man, I'm jealous.
Cold as ice.
Willing to sacrifice.
Our love. You're willing to pay the price for our love.
Are the Panthers willing to pay the price for a repeat?
I have no doubt. Of all the teams down here in South Florida, when the Panthers lose or it doesn't work out, I always think they're going to turn it around because they've done it.
I'm just excited to see. I mean, I think we'll get an official word today from Paul Maurice on Matthew Tkachuk, but all signs are looking good.
I heard might be out for the first game or two.
We'll see. I think he's going to probably announce it today, but he is on the practice ice as we speak.
Yeah, but practicing and playing hockey are two different things.
Well, he's literally practicing hockey right now, Leroy.
No, I understand that. It's like quarterback playing with the red jersey. You don't know what kind of hitting he's doing.
Well, yeah, they were working on, I think, on special teams. Paul said it wasn't a very heavy practice.
Oh.
No punitive on Saturday.
We've gotten away from the punitive skate.
No Easter practice for the Cats yesterday. They had the day off. I don't know if any guys went there.
How was your Easter?
It was all right. It was good. It was a good time.
Bad Easter, dude. I don't know what happened, but this man had a bad Easter.
I mean,
I cooked we had some food. You know, I never miss an opportunity for a good meal.
Great.
Yep.
Did you do an Easter egg hunt?
For who?
The dogs.
The dogs.
No. Dude, they had people over here. Those dogs were out in the pool, swimming, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got Zeus to fake save a bunch of people. Like, he's like, come on, guys.
He's like, come on, you guys promised to play with me. That's how it's supposed to be.
Oh my goodness. Somebody came over and Zeus ran over with his Frisbee.
Yep.
And I told him, hey, by accepting this Frisbee, you enter the contract for life.
Yep,
he ain't gonna never stop.
Unless you can trick him. The debut playoff wise of Brad Marchand is just ahead of us. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing the annoying line, which is him, Sam Bennett, and Matthew Tkachuk all playing together. This is what Brad Marchand had to say on that potential.
Guys on this team that have a reputation of being hard to play against, being physical, and being not well liked by some people. I mean, how fun is it to be a part of a group like that?
Same people don't like me? Yeah, it's great. You know, I think it's one of the things that you notice when you play against this team is that every guy buys into being hard to play against, and they just play a physical, direct game, and they all compete hard. They all skate well, you know, and they stick together as a group, which makes it very easy to not like a team like that. So it's just a way that they've conditioned their team to play, and now being part of it, you know, you want to buy in. You walk in the room and you just want to buy into everything that they're preaching and everything that we're doing on a day-to-day basis, and the way that we prepare and communicate as a group. So, you know, there's a reason that the players and teams will like our team. It's because we, you know, play the right way.
Very excited about that. Honestly, to be honest, like, you know, we talk about in the Heat series about Kalel, but I'm excited to see what Samo can do in these playoffs, man. Sam Miskevich has been an absolute demon for the Cats while everybody's been out. This kid has been cooking all season long, and I'm excited to see what he brings when it comes to the playoffs. Leroy.
You know what's crazy? We talk about Kalel and going through his bumps and bruises as a rookie, and Sam Miskevich, we have a whole different like mindset with him, which is weird, right? Like, we ain't thinking, oh, his first playoffs, he's got to knock the rust off. He's got to get acclimated to it. I think
I think it's a couple things. I think it's one, Maurice was saying, like, he really slowly worked his way to this point where he's like on the second line. Like, started off as a fourth liner, and then just injuries and opportunity came through, and he just kept scoring goals and looking. I think the other part of it is, like, look, they've trusted young guys before. Lundy was out there last year as a 22-year-old and performing for him, and does all the Barkov things. He doesn't get to have as much fun because it's the Finland way. The Finland way is not to have fun. It's just to hockey correctly. It's not the way of the Finns. Lundell would like to just go out there and get to do the fun stuff, but that's just not how the Finnish do things. And Barkov would reprimand him if he thought otherwise. Although I did see on Instagram, and I want to know more about this. Lundell puts on Instagram playoffs time, and Matthew Tkachuk commented on this, and he writes, "Mr. Los Olas strikes again," which makes me wonder, Lundell howling at the moon on Los Olas? Like, what's going on there? What is he like? What are the hot spots now on Los? Like, is Los Olas still a place people get after it?
Yeah.
That's a championship inside joke that apparently.
Well, here's the problem. Here's what you have to understand. They practice not too far from there. A lot of them live down there.
Oh, I know it's a Fort Lauderdale team, but like, what were you saying, Froggy? You think this is
Lundell must have got after it at some point to earn that nickname of some sort.
You think Lundell's taking home the Los Olas Cougs?
Oh, I think he's up and down the streets of Las Olas, picking up the ladies, and Tkachuk's like, this guy's in rare form.
He probably is, like, because you think like what it must be to be a 22-year-old, but you're just like, there's like 4 bars here. Like, like what are the go-to spots still on Las Olas? Is that like American Social? Is that Los Olas?
Yeah, American.
There's
Social
a Rocco's
for sure.
Tacos there.
Yeah, there's don't they have that Irish pub there too? I think, if I'm not mistaken.
There's an Irish pub everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. Makes sense. It's Las Olas. Yeah, Dicey's, I guess.
305 Florida man says Los Olas, easy pickings. God, imagine for a handsome Finnish 22-year-old, I imagine it is easy, but what do you do for a living? Play for the Panthers. Really? Wow.
Say Lundell is a Targaryen.
You imagine just I don't know. I think Forsling may have a squeeze at home, but I'm just like, those young Panthers. What it must be to be a young Panther on Los Olas, cleaning up.
Is hockey, as far as body types, the hardest to figure out that somebody plays hockey? Right? You know what I mean? You can't look at a guy and say, "Oh, hockey player," unless he smiles and his teeth are gone.
I definitely thought that, what you're thinking of. I remember thinking about when they traded for Tkachuk, because they were like, this guy's a unicorn. I was like, oh, really? And so I'm expecting, like, specimen. I'm just like, he looks like a frat boy.
Right.
Like, this is the $70 million Wonder Boy? Now, it turns out he is. But I didn't know it just based on him in flip-flops and a polo.
Hey, Florida man says, no Astron on Los Olas. Only Mrs. Possum Holderberg.
We need to get to the backstory. We got to get Lundy on. I got to figure out why he's Mr. Los Olas.
Oh, my goodness.
Take a break. Howard Tua. It's draft week. Next.
It's time for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tagovailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. It's draft week. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM Thursday. We got draft night, same night as game 2, Panthers and Lightning. Ooh, that's going to be a night. A lot of screens. A lot of happenings. A lot of is most of the drama surrounding Shedeur. Like, I feel like that's the only concocted drama there really is. We know Cam Ward's going 1. It feels like 1, 2, 3 is decided. But they're kind of dangling the carrot of Shedeur. Maybe he'll go to the Giants, but he's definitely not going to the Giants, right? They're going to take Carter.
Right. Here's the problem with the draft this year is that you have so many teams up top that have so many needs to fill, even though they need a quarterback. If you draft a quarterback and don't have the support around him or fill some of the other needs, are you just wasting a pick?
Yeah, especially if the guy's not good enough, right? Like,
and that's the whole other thing is that I tell you about how sports works on the curve. So does the draft. The draft is sometimes the 1 and 2 pick in certain drafts would be 20-25, right? But because of the needs of the position and where teams are, it seems like guys move up, especially at that position. You never really hear in any other position that guy was probably a second rounder, but the team needed to fill that need. You don't hear that at any other position other than quarterback. A rush end, I don't care how good he is, does not go top 5 if he ain't an impact player right away. Right? That's just the nature of it. So I think that a lot of these teams, and what sucks for Shedeur is that a lot of these teams have so many needs, it would almost be a bad situation if he were to go to one of these teams.
Yeah, especially New York being such a, like a media back pages thing that it is. Like, I'm sure he's better to handle it than most because basically his entire college career has been nationally debated.
Right.
But also, like, the thing with going to New York, it feels like you're going into a hornet's nest of guys on the hot seat already. Right. Like, so is that a great place to get drafted either? Where like, hey, our job depends on you being decent this year.
And so, and here's what the one thing that I always fight against. I don't understand why every other position will admit to a guy needing development, but not at quarterback. Quarterback is the only position we say, throw him in, let him take his lumps.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also like you don't know who's going to come in there and, and make an impact right away, like Jaden Daniels did.
Yeah, but again, the talent at quarterback is not why Jaden Daniels was really good. It's all the other stuff, right? His decision-making, his athletic ability. That means that no matter how good or bad your offensive line is, he's going to be able to give you more opportunities because of his excellent athletic ability. So whereas he came in and made things happen right away, part of it had to do with his abilities Not necessarily how good he was, but just his skill set going into that situation. It's kind of like a Cam situation. It was kind of like an RG3 situation where Lamar got a chance to develop at the position of quarterback because he was so athletic that he can buy himself time when things weren't as good up front.
Adam Schefter says that one of the players that he hears are going to go higher than they're projected. A pair of Texas players, offensive tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. and cornerback Jahdae Barron, have generated less talk than some of the other prospects in all their positions, but both are in position to go higher than some people realize. Banks being in play for Miami at number 13 and Barron being linked to the Jets at number 7. I think I'm in on the I obviously I'm not going to bitch if the Dolphins take a cornerback because they need it. It's like a pretty obvious glaring need, especially with the Jalen Ramsey era coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
However, I just feel like they got to protect Tua. Like, this is getting ridiculous. It's right. So like, unless the gap between whoever is there at 13, whether it be Will Johnson or Barron, and is that much more between Booker or Banks or whoever you could get. Dude, this team is defined by Mike McDaniel, that offense, and Tua Tagovailoa, and that's what it's going to be defined by. Can we stop being cheapskates with the damn offensive line? Can you get it fixed? Can it stop being on? You guys want it? You keep talking about, we know we need to have NFL-ready players. Even the most NFL-ready corner, is that going to flip the Dolphins' chances on its head this year as much as a lineman would for the Dolphins?
It's not going to move the needle as much.
Right?
It's not. But when you have a bunch of holes, right? And they have a bunch of holes to fill. I think you are better off drafting the best available, regardless of position, regardless of trying to fill one of those spots. So if a corner drops, right, and you need an offensive lineman, but your offensive line, your cornerback is ranked much higher and dropped, you go with the corner. And you have to consistently keep doing this because you have so many holes to fill. You may not get to fill all of them in the draft. And so if they get a cornerback who drops, and they end up with a steal versus drafting the offensive line that was slotted around that pick, you still have to feel good about the draft pick because they had so many holes to fill. It's not like the defense was top 5 and now we need to rebuild the offensive line. That's a whole different situation. You got D-tackle, you got cornerback, you got who knows what the Russian situation is going to be. You got safety, right? You got a whole bunch of holes that you need to fill.
The thing is, like, they have you're right. Like, they have a ton of places. So, like, as a fan of the team, there's not many places they're going to be able to draft this year where you're going to be like, well, they can't use that. That was stupid. Right. But how many times are we going to do this with the line? Like, we're sitting here and it seems like the obvious answer. Oh, can't get any push up the middle for short yardage. Can't protect your quarterback. Like, all the holes on defense, not saying they're nothing, right? But it's not as obvious as what has plagued this team the last couple of years as the offensive line.
Offensive line. Yeah, I get all that. But in order to fill all those holes effectively, you have to start by drafting the highest rated guy to fill any of those. If you have 6 or 7 holes to fill, right, and the highest rated player fills one of those holes, I don't think it matters what position because you have so many holes to fill. Now, I get it. Everybody wants an offensive line. Everybody wants to fix it. I've been talking about it also. You also need a more physical running back. You, in conjunction with the offensive line, like for those critical moments in the game. I've said this since day one. But if you draft a higher ranked player versus a player you need that maybe isn't ranked that high, you have more of a chance or a better chance of filling those needs than if you just get the offensive lineman. And I'm not saying they're not going to draft offensive linemen. I'm just saying the draft has to play out to some extent. You know, what happens if you know a guy or a team really wants a guy and your pick is up? You can trade and get more picks and then do the same thing wherever you're drafting in. So
what do you make of Jackson Dart backing out of the draft room? He was apparently going to go, and now he's not.
It's a miserable situation. He's not guaranteed to be a first rounder, right? They just want to fill the room. However, if you're there for day 2, I promise you it is not, you know.
It's also become tougher to fill the room when you have it in a place like Green Bay, yeah? Like it used to be, you could do it in New York.
No. Everybody wants that walk, right? Everybody wants that walk. There's a lot of guys that want that walk to go on the stage with, you know, the commissioner. So, like,
if you're a certainty, but if you're
certain, right? If you're uncertain, right? Like, so think about this: Cam Ward can go, right?
Oh, Cam Ward's go. Yeah, there was only 3 quarterbacks who were going to go because Shedeur wasn't going. So they had.
Why would if you're Shedeur, do you want that heat on you?
No, they're going to have. They're going to have Shedeur Cam the whole time,
right? So, like, yeah, is it? I think, and this is what I said during my draft. The thing that sucks about the draft, you can't play no more football.
Schmieden says that Marcos is Jackson Dart Frog.
That's good.
Point for Twitcher.
Also, Steph's being a rat bastard in the chat, saying Highsmith can't guard anybody. I mean, what are we doing?
What?
Wow, that's just random.
All right. Maybe too many minutes from him last night, but Jesus, let's not say things that aren't true.
That's crazy. He's a lock for over 0.5 steals.
Always. Great hands.
Yeah.
I just need him to pass some of those hands on Khalil because Khalil looked like he was playing hot potato.
He really did. Did. He's gonna have a better game too. I think Khalil's gonna have a big game too.
I think with us sitting here just like talking about it so much and him talking about it, I think the coaching staff should just get at him and say, go play basketball, man. You've been playing basketball your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
The circumstance and the situation don't matter. You just play your best basketball. But he is one of the few people that can protect the rim. Nobody can protect the rim like Khalil.
He had a couple of blocks
of his athletic ability and his length.
Like when the things weren't there to think when he had a couple of chase downs and he had the put back dunks and all that stuff that's natural to him. But yeah, I think he's gonna bounce back. But they certainly need him. Like there's no doubt about it. And I don't see a point in shying away from that. You know, take a break. Back after this.
The Heat opened up their appearance. The NFL draft news. The Panthers begin their defense of the Stanley Cup tomorrow night in Tampa Bay. Sam Reinhart says, "Let's go."
Yeah, it's good. This is the time of year you want to be prepping for and you want to be at. So it's been a long season and we're excited to start for real.
Listen to the game here tomorrow night. Puck drop at 8:30. The Marlins are back home after a short road trip to Philly. Tonight, the Reds are in town. Monday Musings, April 21st. On AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Download it today to listen to us live or on demand.
Oh, baby. It's a fresh new week ahead, Leroy. Nice and a clean slate, just like you want to have your clothes, my friend. And for the best dry cleaning in South Florida, you want to use our friends over at A&T Dry Cleaners. The owner, that's our guy right there. You guys can call or text him anytime at 954-610-9383. Tell him what your order is. Tell him what you need done, whether it's sewing, whether it's cleaning, Leroy. He's going to take care of you. Just call him up at 954-610-9383.
You got proms, you got dances, you got weddings. Whatever you need done, just give Ira a call. He will hook you up. You need something taken in. You need something let out because you lost a little bit of weight. You got taller, your kids. Look, they take care of everything. You know it's going to be done right. Mama's doing the work. That's right. It's family owned for over 40 years. They service all of South Florida, Dade, Broward, and Southern Palm Beaches. And as a fan of the show, you want to take advantage of this. Mention Tobin and Leroy. You get 25% off your order. That's right. Mention you heard A&T Dry Cleaners from Tobin and Leroy, and you'll get 25% off your order. Call Ira.
Not only that, Leroy.
What's up?
Pick up and drop off, too.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Right there, dude.
He'll come get it.
Making it convenient for you.
Yes, that's it. That's it. But I promise you this. You can call and text Ira at 954-610-9383 at any time. And once you use A&T Dry Cleaners, you'll never launder your own clothes again.
Why did Tyler Herro have a scratch on his neck last night? Did I miss something?
Because they were fouling, dude.
It looked like he wrestled with a puma.
Some home cooking.
What the hell was going on there?
Oh, I didn't see it though.
You didn't notice that?
No, was it bad?
Giant. What you mean you didn't notice that at all yesterday?
I was too busy crying.
Wow,
it's a rough game.
Yeah, I didn't notice like if he had it like early in the game and then it happened, but I definitely noticed in the second half. I was like, where did he get that scratch from? Leroy, did you notice it?
No.
Really? I'm the only person who noticed that he looked like he was attacked by a big cat last night?
I mean, he was.
Well,
that's when them streets was rough in the paint.
I mean, it was rougher on the perimeter for him.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that nowadays teams either force you into three, like what happens with Houston. They force Houston into shooting threes because they can't. And excuse me.
Bless you.
Teams like Boston, you force into the paint because you don't want them shooting 53s. And I think the Heat are somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday they took, I think I just saw Anthony Chang tweet out, they took their fewest shots in the restricted area. It was either of the season or since their Orlando game.
Right.
You know, that's so there's certainly that was certainly a challenge against them last night. It's tough when you don't have the, I know they broke up like a couple of lobs that come to note against Kalel, but Kalel just gives you that relief valve on those easy buckets.
Right. And it's like in the previous game, they were attacking the paint, kicking out for threes, right? When they do that against this team, the ball never gets out of the paint.
Do you know when like they went mic'd up and they like they did a thing like really quickly on the mic'd up where Bam was like, hey, we all got to be on a string. If they go at Tyler, we got to be there for him. And Tyler's just sitting there with Haywood Highsmith, Kalel Ware, and Haywood Highsmith. And just like, yeah, sorry, guys. Yeah. Sorry.
My bad.
Listen,
I mean,
hey, I'm going to get you some buckets.
I mean, he's like, did Tyler go, yeah, guys, look at my neck.
Yeah, see this thing? We're like, what happened? Did you go to like a Cleveland dominatrix last night? What the hell? What was going on here, Tyler?
Probably that Max Strus.
What?
Dirty player.
He's a dirty player?
Yeah.
I don't like his hair, man. I really don't.
He's changed.
He has changed. It's very unbecoming.
Yeah.
Who goes Hollywood when they go to Cleveland?
Hey, come on. Even Gabe Vincent.
Hey, Cleveland's got a lot of famous people.
Who?
Drew Carey.
That's your list.
It's absolutely
Bone Thugs.
Well,
no.
The Leverts. The singers.
Oh, I thought you meant Karras.
Halle Berry.
Like he's a
Oh no, Cleveland doesn't get Halle Berry.
Halle Berry's never been to a Cavs game that didn't involve LeBron James.
Angie Everhart.
Nope.
You don't know who Angie Everhart is?
Who was their top celebrity there last night? Did they? Because I don't remember them showing crowd shots.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's a lot of people from Cleveland. It used to be funny when Bon Jovi used to come to our games.
Well, that's just because he's Belichick's friend.
Yeah.
He's a New Jersey guy. You don't get to claim him.
I'm not claiming him.
It sounds like you're trying.
Nope.
You're scrambling a little bit.
Nope. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, baby.
Look, it's one of these things you just got, like, it is what it is with Tyler. He's going to be attacked on defenses. They're going to try and get switches and get the coverage so they can go at him. That's what they're going to do.
Hey, my favorite is when he gets in a good basketball when he gets a good basketball position, right? I'm like, Tyler,
But like I do feel like there's been like this has been a year he's competed more. Even Jimmy mentioned that before he left. He goes, I feel like he's competing more. He's never going to be a great defender. He's not a great defender. Few scoring guards are.
That was my point. How many? If you go through, let's go through all of the
teams that are different that do have them.
Giannis.
He's not a guard.
But he's not a guard. But I'm saying the primary scorer.
No, I'm talking guards.
Guards?
I'm talking guards.
Spider had to hype up the whole building when he played one defensive play.
He played, yeah, but honestly, you need a couple of those. Like he's got to have a couple scrap ones, and we saw it like against in the Atlanta game where he had the steal and the slam. Like he can do that. He can read some things, and he can get into passing lanes, and he can make plays like that. Standing in front of somebody can be a little bit tough on him sometimes. But no, I mean, like, look, that's what makes Boston different. But their two guys, their guards are both elite two-way guys.
Right.
Drew Holiday and Derek White.
Yeah.
You look at OKC, they got, Shea. Shea's not like an amazing defender, but he's a solid defender.
He's got some length, and that is a deterrent.
He's a solid defender. Like they're always throwing him into like, oh, should it be in the deep? No, he shouldn't be in the DPOY competition, but he's usually a league leader in steals.
Anthony Davis? I mean, not Anthony Davis.
Edwards
Richardson?
is a solid defender.
Yeah.
Ant-Man's a solid defender.
Right.
But no, like there's some guys who really stink at defense. Tyrese Halliburton, McMahon mentioned Dame, Tyrese Halliburton. Luka sucks at defense. Oh my God.
Yeah, but he scored 40 a night.
Brunson. But you gotta listen, you gotta feed him 40 on the other side. You
can't listen. We got you in here and you're no defense playing ass because you're gonna give us 30, 40 points.
Yeah, you got to give me something on the other side.
Don't give me 15 and 5. Right.
You can't give me 4 points in the second half. Can't happen.
I think the Heat were thrown off with how good defensively they were in the paint. And it kind of threw them off a little bit because they had just played 2 games where drive and kick. You know what I mean?
You played against a Bulls team that is allergic to defense, and you played against a Hawks team that played tougher defense, but their tallest guy's a Kongwu, who's like 6'9".
No, I know.
So
this is what defense looks like in the paint. So you got to find ways around it. I'm wondering if Spo tries to spread them out more and get those bigs on a perimeter, which means that would mean Khalil doesn't play as much. But Jović might be able to play more.
Oh, I love it. I mean, like, do we want to win or we want to win?
Yeah.
Jović, dude. Let's get him out there.
Come on.
I mean, to be here, have you not already won?
No.
Why? You did something that's never been done.
No.
Already won.
You take this as a win because they got out of the 10?
No. I'm just saying.
Leroy.
Like, what am I like? Yeah. I mean, why not?
No.
Wait, let me ask you a question.
Would never let me celebrate something like that.
No, but here's what I'm saying. You got to put it in perspective, right? Before the play-in, did you think they were just going to automatically host through these 2 teams and move on?
I was scared about the Bulls because they hadn't beaten the Bulls.
Right. And then they beat the Bulls.
Hawks game was tougher than I thought, to be honest with you.
Why?
I don't respect that team.
Yeah.
Well, whether you respect them or not, why do you expect? I would say this year in the East, there's no difference between 6 and 12.
You think there's no difference?
I think any of those teams could beat any.
You're making of the West. Like there's a pretty substantial. I mean, the Heat got their butts kicked by Detroit a lot.
And Detroit is 6.
Yeah.
So I'll go down to 7.
All right.
Right. To be honest with you, I thought they were 5. But yeah, you go 7 through 10. Those guys were jostling for position the last month of the season, and it was still ended up being the same 4.
No moral victories, dude. Just getting here. No.
Okay.
You got to show some pride, you know.
I understand, but you can show all the pride you want. If you're not good enough, what good is it?
I think they can. I think they can beat this team.
Really?
I think they can.
You think they could beat? You think like based on what you've seen so far all year?
They got some things that got to break their way. Like they need Khalil to play at the best of his abilities.
Wait, how many games did the Cavs win?
They went 64 this year.
Yeah.
Right. And you're just dismissing that.
Well, I'm not going to sit home and take a Cracker Jack box prize like you who look.
I'm not. No. I'm literally not doing that at all.
They call him Consolation Leroy.
At what point? I mean, you watch Cleveland play, you watch Miami play.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland's been more consistent all year, and it's going to take something that we haven't seen for them to win this series. Would
That's
you
right.
agree on that?
Of course.
Okay.
Especially from Andrew Wiggins. Be nice if he shows up for more than a quarter. Andrew! Anytime you want to, dude.
Take your time.
We'll be here waiting.
Boy, soon as the text, when you say the streets need a body, you guys already had one, right? Hey, Wiggy, what are we doing? Right? I'm like, wow. I just think I wouldn't mind seeing Kalel, Jović, and Bam just bang with them.
Of course. Tall time, dude. What are we here for?
Well, tall time was Bam and Kalel, right? Now we add
tall time originally was Nico and it was Kalel together.
Okay.
That was OG tall time.
Right.
Then they threw Bam and Kalel together. The next wave. But tall time 2.0 is all three of them out there.
Yeah.
I think we have some fun with that. And Spo's going to come back here and he's going to be like, guess what? I just came up with my new scheme. Slow-mo and Haywood.
No.
Enjoy.
That's not what he's going to say. If he does go those big three and they win a game, look, get minutes on this team is hard. They earned the right to be out there. I'm like, oh.
Take a break. Game balls and game bums is next.
bum, 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 bum.
This guy's a ball. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for Leroy Horde to give out his game balls and game bums.
What do you got for us today, Leroy?
My game ball goes to me.
Oh, wow.
And what I had to endure during Lent.
What? Get out of here, dude.
And now I'm in a position where I don't even feel the need to fat shame.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
I can't promise you nothing, but I'm saying I'm a better person for my 40-day experience.
I don't think so, dude. I mean, I don't know what you're saying. You think you're going to change?
Have I fat shamed? No.
You've already been tickled by Niang.
Yeah.
Tickled is not fat shaming.
Okay.
You did say Mima had a whole tub of ice cream, and I don't like the way you said it.
She did. That's what brought up the question whether Lent ended on Easter or after Easter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Real sign of maturity.
But if you really changed, then it wouldn't matter when Lent ended.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I haven't fat shamed.
That's not what that means.
I haven't fat shamed. And my game bum. Look, I've witnessed a lot of bad basketball at stretches, big leads being given up, frustration at the highest. We've talked about it all year, right? The ebbs and flows of this team have had us on the edge of our seat, not knowing what the hell to do, right? Memphis.
Oh, my God.
I don't want nobody on your team on my team. Nobody. You lost by 50? Say that again. So that means, in effect, you could have played 4 quarters and the other team could have played like 2.5, 3.
Yep. They could have sat everybody. You would have just had to go up against a basket.
And you could, and let me tell you something. Here's what the fraudulent of basketball is. You know what they're going to say after the game. It's just one loss.
That's what Josh said.
Yep. No,
That's
sir.
what Josh said. He said it doesn't matter if we win the next one.
No, sir. Yes, it does.
He's technically right.
But
technically right.
Name one thing after that 50-point loss that you say, oh, they can get one.
That it was only that they could get one. I don't know. That Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets kidnapped.
Wait, because he had a bad game and they still lost by 50.
That's true.
SGA didn't have a good game. The star didn't have a good game.
Chet was very tall.
Chet, oh my goodness. I think him and Wemby could bump each other, bump knees, and start a fire. Like there's 2 sticks. So, yep, that's my own. Like, no, dude. Like, I lost a game like that in the preseason. And I still remember it. It was against the Minnesota Vikings. I was in Cleveland my rookie year. And I'm going, damn, this the NFL? I ain't never lost like this. This ain't even a real game. This is a practice game.
You know what? You want to know something I don't understand?
What's that?
Can I give a game bum to baseball bases?
Why? What happened?
Well, I'm trying to figure out after all these years. Poor Griffin Conine yesterday. He gets hurt. Or maybe it was Saturday. I don't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Saturday. Griffin Conine got hurt yesterday because he hurt his shoulder diving in. I don't know if it necessarily was the base or it was the dirt, but he really hurt his shoulder. He dislocated
jammed it.
shoulder.
Jammed it.
Yeah, badly.
Doing that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But why don't they go back to old school bags?
What do you mean? Oh, that move?
Yeah, I remember
breakaway bag,
like in the 20s when it was a ragged bag, like this whole
like a sandbag, like a little
yeah.
Because
they put that thing right there in the tunnel. Now it looks like he just had a terrible slide. Like I don't know if that was the case here. I think he just dove right
it was
into
a bad slide.
But I just felt bad for him. He's crying, sad. I
He's
don't want
crying because it hurts, dude. Dislocated shoulder hurts.
I've had it. I have. Why are you looking at me like that for?
Dude, I'm not going to let a guy compare injuries with somebody who first of
I
all,
heard it in baseball.
You said you had dead foot. That
I
eliminates you. That eliminates you from all injury conversations.
I was diving back into first base. I didn't want to get doubled off on a hard line drive. I hurt the holy hell out of my shoulder, dislocated it. Which is what it goes back to. They should have actual bags.
No.
Not little not these fortresses that they put like a metal pole in so they don't move. Makes no sense.
What about a Tempur-Pedic pillow?
Yes.
Now we're talking. Really absorbs.
You can see, like, didn't they want to sponsor this back in the day?
Here we go.
Yeah. You can put a glass of wine.
Hey,
on.
you can say, hey, this base bag was made to you by Purple.
Yeah.
The most comfortable bases in all of America.
Marlins brought up their top catching prospect, Agustin Ramirez. He's going to make his debut tonight.
There we go. Hopefully he can catch.
Got him in the Jazz Chisholm trade.
Oh, look at that.
Listen. Prospect. You think Peter Bendix gets upset when they come up to the majors because like they're no longer prospects?
Yeah.
I think so in baseball, you either have to be a Hall of Famer or they're going to try to do things to protect how many years you have left, right? So if they have your rights for 5 years, unless you do X, X, and X, they're going to try to keep you from doing X, X, and X, right? There's so many guys that sat in the majors. Remember they did that? Who's the kid that Chicago drafted, and they held them out just long enough to have that extra year? That he was a third baseman, right?
Yeah, what the hell was that kid's name? I know who you're talking about. Kyle.
And all of Chicago was like acting crazy because they kept him for another month just to keep his rights for an additional year. There's a lot of that.
It happens as much anymore because rights skyrocket anyway now. Like there's really no point to do it.
Yeah, because now you go to arbitration and like arbitration guys getting 20 million, 15 million.
Which they should.
Yeah.
They're good enough. But yeah, man, the Marlins they were able to avoid the sweep, snap their 5-game losing streak on Sunday in extras against the Phillies. They take on the Reds tonight. So we'll see what they can do with that. But it was a tough guy. Sandy got lit up this last game.
Did he?
Oof. Oof.
He probably ain't been getting no sleep.
Man, that's true. That's true. He's definitely not cooked. The sleep. That's what it is.
Maybe he's just trying to decrease his trade value to stay a Marlin.
He doesn't want to leave.
That's what.
So you think he's like pulling a point shaving, but in reverse?
Yeah, point.
So like he's gonna have the most amazing post trade deadline we've ever seen in our life.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Somebody's going to give you all the money and all the prospects in the world for Sandy, and Peter's probably waiting.
Timbo says baseball players would sprain so many ankles on a bag base. I saw a guy today. I saw a guy on the Phillies.
Oh, remember? I've seen a dislocated one.
Oh, Jesus.
A dislocated ankle?
Yeah, hitting the base.
I saw a guy on the Phillies this week. He played with 2 mittens, not just one.
What?
2 mittens.
Wait.
He couldn't decide whether he was going to go left or right.
I guess not. I guess he's like, I'm going to be like an octopus.
But then how does he throw?
Well, no. It's when he's on the bases.
Oh my God!
-1.
No, dude.
You don't explain it. You don't explain that.
No. Hey, for all the things. Let me tell you something, jackass. For all the things you've said about me and replayed or whatever, that better be somewhere in the returns or whatever. That was great. No. Don't talk. Don't just take the L. Take the L.
And this is where Schmieden gets mad. He goes, an octopus would be 8 mittens, you idiot.
That's what I thought.
It's about time for this hour to end, huh?
Midday.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
Leroy, can we get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm? Your accidentattorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
I will say this. It's been breezy the last few days. Very, very breezy. And warmer. But sunny. Looks like it's partly to mostly cloudy. Winds are coming out of the east at about 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusting a little bit higher than that. And I would say right now it's about 83 degrees.
How'd you do, Froggy?
Excellent, because it is exactly 83 degrees. Considerable cloudiness. Never seen that before.
Isn't that mostly cloudy?
Right. So why don't they just, I don't understand what the difference is. But considerable cloudiness, winds coming out of the east at 13 miles per hour.
All right. There you go. Excuse me if I'm wrong here, but like, did Pelle Larsson really lose
This usually means you're wrong.
Did Pelle Larsson really lose his minutes here because he got into a weightlifting accident? Like, where the hell is Pelle not playing either?
Yeah, what's up with that?
You know, this is going to have to be a team. They got two tremendous guards there, and I need some intangibles if I've ever seen it. And Pelle Larsson brings the intangibles. I'm basically questioning everyone's supposed decisions.
I would say this.
Wouldn't be the first time this season.
I would say this. I mean, this is a job for Captain Intangible, right?
That's what one would think. One would think. They're going to be like, oh, who is this?
And I got to tell you, can I just say this? Listen, I'm no one that questions anybody, effort or anything like that. But the way they carried on about Davion Mitchell playing defense a time.
Oh, my God.
I mean, one time. They didn't stop. They
were nonstop. Look at the best player. Throws his feet. I'm like, all right. Well, good for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
and Bam's over here holding Evan Mobley to 9 points and like, whatever.
Right.
Did he dive on the floor? By the way, another game, where Bam Adebayo goes up against a Defensive Player of the Year finalist and absolutely cooks his ass and wins that matchup. No moral victories though, but
I wish that 3-point line, that free throw line jumper was hitting. He was off.
He missed a couple free throws too. Though.
He had a couple of sick fadeaways though.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But like that was back to back. So the finalists are Draymond Green, who, he completely embarrassed when he was down here.
Celebrated himself.
Dyson Daniels, who Bam blocked to holy hell on Friday night. And Evan Mobley, who put up a 9-point stinker.
Yep.
I'm not saying Bam deserves Defensive Player of the Year. I get it. Usually the better.
Is he not even a finalist? Is he a finalist?
Not a finalist.
Oh, my God.
But I do think he may not deserve Defensive Player of the Year, but he's still the best defender on the planet. I don't care what anybody says. Maybe Mobley will get there one day because Mobley's a baby. But I'm just saying, Bam's still the best defender on the planet. This Draymond Green nonsense. Draymond Green gets to go out there and score 4 points. Imagine if Bam had a 4-point game, how bad you guys would be at him. And I came out.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He playing good defense. It would never get to us because you would hose him down.
No, never.
Oh, my goodness. This guy, he even said, Frog Boy, he even sets up hypotheticals and lies in his hypotheticals.
What are you talking about, dude? I'm not the one sitting here being like, I'm a
dude. If Bam had 4 points, if Bam had 4 points and 12 rebounds, right? There would be a hot text coming in.
First of all, you're the one who hypothetically has set up scenarios all day saying you're a changed man past Lent. We don't know that.
I am. Yeah. You'll find out.
Will I?
Okay.
Stunt Steve says Tobin treats Bam with kid gloves. No, I don't. That's not fair.
You kind of do.
I do not. What are you talking about, dude? I don't treat anybody with kid gloves.
He was putting up a stinker to start this season, and it took you a while to say anything.
I've said that he was stinking up the joint.
No, you did.
That took me a while.
After 2 months.
You just said I would hose him down. Now you're flip-flopping on your own take. Now you're saying I do keep treating with kid gloves. Make up your mind.
Good job, Leroy.
Tobin. We call that the old Tobin.
He just wants to gang up on me. He goes, "They getting a Tobin over there? I want it."
Hey, that's right, Gonzalo. Always, Bam.
I do have it, but I do feel like a lot of people have the untrained eye, and they don't understand what he's great at. And I'm sorry, it's one of those things where it's hilarious to me the way the other defenders, the elite defenders, get to coast on certain things, and he doesn't. I'll tell you who I love though. I love Davion Mitchell. New love for Davion.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
what a monster this guy is. Yeah. I am all about Davion Mitchell. This guy,
can we keep Spider to 25?
Listen, it's a tough task.
I know.
He's good. He was good.
He was locked in yesterday.
He was locked in yesterday. He's a great
and we couldn't get to the rim. He got to the rim in all those little crazy Euro finger roll underneath.
Yeah. He's got all that D-Wade stuff in his bag. It's really annoying.
Yeah,
it's really annoying.
D-Wade-ish.
It's so D-Wade-ish. And it's look.
Except he's like 3 inches shorter, right?
He's a couple inches shorter, but he's a moose. Like if you ever see him, like he's kind of built like he's
like Davion.
He's bigger than Davion. He's bigger than Davion. He's taller, but he's also just like he's built. He's got wingspan. What's his wingspan?
And he's got mad hops. Don't sleep on his hops.
No,
Have you seen him dunk? He dunks like Ja.
Wow, he has a 6'10" wingspan.
Yeah, that's D-Wade.
Yeah. And he is 6'3".
He's not 6'3".
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Hey, so he basically has to tip.
Did you get D-Wade's? Were you doing D-Wade this day or Donovan Mitchell?
No, this is Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell's not 6'3".
Hey, he's got a tippy toe to keep his knuckles off the ground.
D-Wade wingspan 6'11", and they have D-Wade listed at 6'4".
D-Wade wasn't 6'4".
That's a crazy wingspan, too.
That's crazy wingspan. That's a pterodactyl right there.
That is, wow.
Pterodactyls have short wingspans.
What?
They got those little.
That's T-Rexes.
We
get anything right?
I don't know. I want the Heat to win.
Whoa, pterodactyl wingspan?
Big.
36 feet.
Wait, it's like, what are we doing?
Holy and Bam put together. That's crazy. Did I do the headlines right, Liner? I don't know. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory with the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. And remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. The Marlins will be back at it tonight against the Cincinnati Reds. Playoff action tonight. NBA, game 2 of Nuggets and Clippers.
Marcos definitely started that pterodactyl search with a T.
I mean, who has a silent B?
Wait, why is Steven breaking it down? Pterodactyls fly, Leroy. They can't have little wingspans.
Hummingbirds.
Yeah, boxed in.
Boxed in.
Tonight in the NBA, you got Knicks Pistons game 2. Pistons kind of they were in control, and the Knicks took over in the 4th in that one.
Yeah.
Same kind of way for Clippers and Nuggets. Nuggets won in overtime. So that game 2 is tonight at 10 o'clock. Those are on TNT for those looking for broadcasting. And then we got NHL action tonight. Canadiens at Capitals at 7 o'clock. Blues at Jets. These are all game 1s. Avalanche at Stars at 9:30 and Oilers at Kings. 10 o'clock if you can't sleep. ESPN2.
Hey, Dr. Toboggan, since we're on pterodactyls, hummingbird's tiny wingspan but has a motor.
You guys see Lane Kiffin took a shot at Carson Beck?
No.
What's the deal with everybody? And I gotta be honest with you.
Let me tell you what it is. You ready?
Yeah.
Carson Beck has ruined NIL for everybody else in the country.
Why?
Because
why is everyone hating?
Because they feel that he got paid so much, which you shouldn't blame him.
It's not his fault.
He got paid so much that everybody else wants more money.
Oh, well. Too bad. How sad. That's not, like, what are you getting mad at? Like, I saw Lane Kiffin was on The Pivot, and he goes, you see his game against us last year? I was like, hey, man.
Hey,
what is this, Lane Kiffin? You taking pot shots? I thought that was top rat bastardry from him. So you got the whole Nico who's going to UCLA, and now Lane Kiffin's taking pot shots. The kid already broke up with his Cavender and had his car stolen. Can he even throw yet?
Hasn't thrown one pass as a Hurricane.
I need to listen. There's a
Not
lot
even
of
a practice pass.
There is a lot of pressure on this guy coming in here, but I am not a fan of all the pot shots that are going on out here left and right.
Is
the
that
Canes
now
the quarterback? They have a guy who they don't trust in Emory Williams, and they got a child. They needed a quarterback. Why is everybody so mad at the Canes paying for a quarterback?
So, would you feel the same way if he had signed with UCLA?
I don't think I would have had any thoughts.
Right.
I would have been like, you know what? He's in UCLA. Cool. If that's what UCLA thought to pay. Leroy, can I tell you something? Here's the truth about it. It's not a salary cap. Who cares? Who cares what he gets paid? If we're talking in a salary cap sport, if I only have so much money to spend, now maybe that's what they'll end up doing one day. I don't know. But if the Canes are paying their quarterback $4 million and Georgia's paying their quarterback $3 million, and if Georgia's quarterback is like, you should get a better agent, Georgia quarterback. I don't know what to tell you. Are you guys mad because you didn't sucker the Canes or get to the Canes because the Canes were more desperate to spend money because they were losing the number one NFL pick? I mean, I don't understand this. What is everybody watching this situation? They're mad at the Hurricanes for spending on Carson Beck for.
Yeah, it's we're replacing a need too. It's not even like we're just doing this because
it's not the first time it's happened in the history of sports.
Get out of here.
It's just the first time it's going down in college.
Yeah.
Right.
They're broke. That's what it is. They're just jealous.
Ole Miss don't have Miami money.
That's what he's pissed about. It's because he's not in South Florida anymore. He's just grumpy because he's got to live in that swamp.
Lane Kiffin has been coaching forever. Is he even 50 yet?
Yeah, and really, what's the thing that he's done that we're so impressed by? FAU, hoot hoot. You angered Al Davis. Okay, he had an overhead projector. You got ran out of Tennessee. You skedaddled. They wanted to kill you. You go to Nick Saban, who you were like so sick of his bullying that you went to coach in Boca. Like, what are you like? And everybody just thinks he's so cute because he sits here on Twitter making the jokey jokes.
That guy has had 2 coaching careers, right? Name another guy that's getting hired and fired that many times, and he's not 50 yet.
Listen, Carson, you need to come out here and ball. I don't like how chippy everybody's being because whenever it comes to the Canes and it comes to money, people love to have opinions on it. Anybody else, if it's an Alabama quarterback, nobody gives a rat's ass. If it's BYU, not a peep. But anytime it comes to the Canes and the Canes spending money, we got a problem with their boosters. We got a problem with their cars. We got a problem with all of these. We got a problem that the MMA gym is giving everybody $500. And now all of a sudden, the quarterback, how could you spend that much on a quarterback? You're ruining it for everybody. Hey, I don't know what deals you got with your quarterback, Tennessee. I thought you got 100,000 people going to every single game. Thought you would have been a little bit more, available in the old purse strings. Apparently, I was wrong. I thought you guys were big boy football with your stupid dog with his little patch on.
How about this one? Would people make fun of Alabama if they paid Beck $4 million?
No, they'd be crapping their pants. I just think it's ridiculous. Like, anytime. And now everyone's, could you believe what the Canes paid their quarterback? Well, I don't know. It kind of worked out for him last year, didn't it? Guy went from a 5th-round pick to the #1 pick in the NFL draft.
It really was a win-win.
Please be that good, Carson Beck. Please.
Wow.
Please be that good.
Wow,
please. Because that was the great. I mean, he was so good. He deserved better. He really deserved. I mean, we couldn't get one stop for him. We couldn't get one stinking stop for him.
Sucks.
And now he has to go to Tennessee, basically samesies.
Really, he's the reason we spent this much, because it's like we tasted that glory of having a good quarterback.
Yeah, any quarterback's probably like, do you guys have any fixes on defense? He goes, maybe Ruben Bain's gonna be better this year.
Hey, oh my God,
we got a guy from Minnesota who's our defensive coordinator, great jawline. Maybe it's fixed. Maybe.
Dude, why do you always mention all the things that have nothing to do with how good the player or the coach is going to be?
I'm just saying.
You want that in your coordinator, though. Good jawline.
Oh, for sure, dude.
That. Tough.
You want him to be walking around like the Bill Cowher look?
Right.
Yeah.
Chiseled. Chiseled and grizzled.
It's crazy. You know, he played for the Cleveland Browns.
Bill Cowher?
Yeah.
With Jim Brown?
You have the worst, concept of time.
Before Jim Brown?
You know, it's a good job.
Way after Jim Brown.
Jason Taylor.
Film junkie.
Whew. Wait on him to take the reins.
QC says, Tobin, you don't believe Beck will be as good as Ward. Stop with the lies. Well, look, it was one of the great quarterback seasons I've ever seen. He was a Heisman finalist. It's kind of a high bar.
Right. Why be you? Listen, by the way, I'm going to say this. Please don't get mad if Carson Beck isn't as good as Cam was. Okay? He was a Heisman Trophy finalist. It's going to be the first pick in the draft. You think you could just crank another one of those out there?
But also, Carson, don't be embarrassingly bad that Lane Kiffin is right. Whenever you can throw.
I think he'll be fine.
And Lane Kiffin, put your thumbs away, dude.
I'm more concerned. Listen, I'm more concerned with the defense.
And Channing was loving it too, because he's yucking it up. A couple of SEC guys there now.
These Gators. Why are these Gators so high and mighty? I don't understand. Yeah, you won a basketball.
You block each other.
I had a Gator over my house yesterday.
Did you?
And the other sister went to Florida State.
Oof.
Gross.
Right.
Wow.
Sorry to hear that.
Wish them well, though.
Oh, yeah. True.
But your football team.
Yeah.
You got to stop shopping Martin Luther King.
And you know what they do. I hate when people do this. Here's what she did. When I was there, we had 4 national champions, 2 football and 2 basketball. I'm like, good for you.
Where's your rings?
Yeah. How many buckets did you get in that final game?
Take a break. Back after this.
The Heat opened up
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Get to a little 15 minutes of heat here, brought to you by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment we want to see in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. The Heat will be back in action on Wednesday. And
too long.
No, they need a little. Give them a little rest, Leroy. A couple days between here, a couple days after game 3.
I mean,
game 2 to get to game 3.
Too long for my watching experience. Not too long for them.
No, baby, because we got Panthers tomorrow. So we get a night of all Panthers. We get a night of all Heat. We get a night of all Panthers. We get Friday, and then we get to do everybody together.
All right.
Which is too much. That's too much. Too much.
At least it's on the weekend, though.
I guess. It doesn't help me. I'm going to be boots on the ground on Saturday, and then I got to watch the Panthers and the Heat at the same time. I'm not going to get to pay attention to the Cats.
Did you get a playoff badge, or you just use the same badge?
It's the same badge. The only time you went, I have a season credential.
No.
So the only time I need to change it is for the finals, which of course I already have put in for. So
no, perfect.
Don't look at me like that.
No, I mean,
what do you mean?
Yeah, totally makes
You got to be prepared.
Yeah. Sure. Although I did see your video that you posted following the Heat's victory against the Hawks, where a unicorn man walks by.
That was great.
That was good. You know what, though? Around the time where you were saying those words, it truly felt like there was no
It was after
way.
the 10th loss in a row.
There was no way the Heat were going to do what they did.
They had not won a game in 3 weeks.
I mean, weren't there 8 games below 500? How many were there? 37 and 48?
Dude, it was so bad, and I was down and I was down bad. But I called out being incorrect on that. They did win 2 games in a week. And now all they got to do is just bounce back. They get right. You know what happens? First of all, the series hasn't started yet. Let's just be clear about something.
That's right.
The series has not started yet.
So
the series doesn't start when?
Until you lose a home game. Until
Correct.
Somebody wins on the road.
Correct, Leroy.
So
series has not started.
My question is this. Going into this, there was questions about the youth of OKC, the youth of Houston, and the Cavs not being there. I know it's just one game, but you think they've dispelled some of those notions?
I think 2 of those teams you can't really do that with because both the Cavs and the Thunder were good last year. They didn't make it as far last year. Houston's the team that's the outlier there. This is their first rodeo.
Well, first year coach is his first year or second year? It might be a second year.
Ime Udoka?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the second year, I think, with them.
Okay.
I think it's the second year with them.
They can't score. They really can't score. They play defense, but they can't score. And it's crazy because they're keeping all these teams to under 100 while not scoring 90.
Here was this was who the hell made this? I gotta get the guy. It was like KC, I think, made this on Twitter.
Aquala?
No, not K. That's KZ, not KC. And he was quick to remind me my thoughts after the Heat advanced the playoffs.
Dude, get ready to get 2 picks. I don't know what to tell you. They're not making the playoffs. They might be in the play-in. They're not making the playoffs. No way. They're not winning 2 games. Imagine them having to win 2 games. They can't win 1. You think they're going to go into a stretch where they got to win 2 games in a week? The way they're playing right now? Talk about a fantasy. I might as well have a unicorn right in here right now.
Wait, how does he do that?
I didn't get a unicorn.
Here's the amazing thing. You ever notice Tobin will never say stuff like this on air.
What are you talking about, dude?
Never.
I would too.
Never. In fact, I'm usually the one that says that on the show, and you
thought I felt good about their playoffs? My takes were they were going to still make the playoffs?
Huh?
You thought my takes were still they were going to make the playoffs after losing 10 in a row?
Dude, I'm telling you, you've never said anything like that on air.
You're silly.
Marcos?
How can I lose everybody? Like, hold on.
Marcos.
Hold on. No, just
has he ever said anything
I just
along
wanna be
those
clear here.
lines
I just
on
wanna be
this
clear here.
radio show?
I just want to be clear here. You guys are a segment removed from telling me I hose down everybody. And now I do none of that? What does that make? It makes sense.
Wait a minute.
Do tell.
Dude. On this show? I don't know what the other shows you're doing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But on this show, you missed the Heat in 5. So those comments that I just saw,
After 10 games,
you have never had
10 straight losses. You don't think I was talking like
you
that?
have never had that on this show.
I gotta tell you, man. You know, it's your
Marcos,
selective memory
Marcos,
is disappointing.
Marcos.
Yeah. Look, the difference is these are right after the game. This is right after the loss. Maybe there's a drinky poo involved sometimes after a loss.
It's you guys are incredible.
So you get the worst of his feelings.
You guys are incredible.
But then by the time he wakes up in the morning, it's
Yes,
a beautiful, bright day.
Tobin,
okay.
You have never said anything of that nature on this show.
Kid glove.
J-Fix says, no, he was down bad. I remember. I kept asking if he was okay.
No, but him being miserable, he still wouldn't say, oh, they don't have no chance. You have never said that about the Heat on this radio show.
Maybe you were golfing with your billionaire friend or something, dude.
I do recall multiple times.
I don't think you remember. I don't think you remember the 10-game losing streak. I don't think you remember what it was like with me being in the building for Cade Cunningham. I don't think you remember those things.
He did hop out of his seat one time. We do remember that. There was another couple instances in which he did stare out the window.
What am I taking memory advice from him? He thought Cade Cunningham played for the Red Wings.
Okay, that was rough. That's rough.
I'm gonna take his word seriously.
It's a rough time.
Wait a minute. Players make mistakes too. You ain't never came up here with some crazy mistake. Frog Boy, you just did it.
Oh, I just found out those things existed. I had no idea those mittens existed.
You thought that that Matt Mervis was out there with 2 mittens.
Just a little nippy when they closed the roof. Okay, like I said, I did also see him.
No, it is. By the way, right now it's Heat and 5. I just want to be clear here.
Yeah,
there we go. He's back.
You can't get to Heat and 5 without a loss. It's not possible. It's literally not possible.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
This is the Tobin we're used
and tell Jay Crawford, I hope he enjoyed his playoff win. So don't worry, we're good.
By the way, haven't talked to any of them.
Good. You shouldn't. But it's Heat and 5.
I'm contemplating going to a game.
Really, I think truthfully, I think it's Heat and 6. But I have to say, I have to be bravado. I truly think it's Heat and 6. Yeah. But we got to keep it up for appearances.
For sure.
How about get one?
We will. Oh, listen, we're even Steven coming up on Wednesday night. Trust me. Khalil Ware is going to have a double-double. Okay. Davion Mitchell is going to outplay Donovan Mitchell. Bam Adebayo is going to take Evan Mobley's lunch money. And Tyler Herro is going to outplay Ty Jerome. I don't know what they're going to do with Darius Garland. He's also good. But they are going to.
Oh, my goodness. How quick is he?
Pelle Larsson.
Pelle Larsson is going to. He's going to say, oh, Darius Garland, sorry, dude. Guess what? Here comes the flying intangibles. And I'm telling you, Jović is going to show up. Spo is going to get out of his head, and he is going to play Jović. It is time to let the Serbian Terminator go cook. And then we're taking game 2. And then you know what happens? We bring it home, and we're going to actually win a playoff game, which we haven't done since 2023. Oh, my God. It's been so long.
It has been so long.
So long.
God. Wow.
Stun Steve says, is Herro on notice? Not yet. I'm giving him one more.
One more?
One more. Oh, if he throws up another turnstile, he's getting the business.
That's showing patience.
Patience? He's got discounted car rental insurance.
Hey, You do realize
Patience.
you do realize they're playing a really good team.
Hey, does he want 50 million extension or not? Let's go, baby. I believe in him. You better do better. He better not be that turnstile come Wednesday. Better find that dog in him.
Brought up a good point with this playoff win thing. Do you think maybe we switch up this white hot? Red hot? Huh?
No, I hated the red zone. It's got to be white hot.
New era. It's a new
Nah,
era.
I don't like that.
Gold.
White is the best way to go. It's not white hot's fault that the Heat can't win home games.
We had a bad Pepas recently too. I don't like it.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? They didn't want to win that game anyway.
That's true. The blackout, remember that?
Back in black, I do remember that.
Ooh, that was good. Come on.
But they are white hot. They've already announced they're not going back. They're white hot. Like the
Vice
logo,
grip.
the logo change. That's an idea. No, I don't like vice grip. That's terrible. But what if instead of the red, the normal white jerseys, they just go vice?
Vice, baby. Whoa!
-1. And just because you went whoa afterwards. If you would have just said vice, baby, I may have liked it.
Yeah.
But you had to add sound effects afterwards.
It's my fault.
And that's why you lost it for show poniness.
It's fair.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Now,
Bling, bling.
now you both get -1.
Boom, 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 boom.
Got an accomplice.
-1 for show poniness.
Let's
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Monday out there as we roll along here. First day of the week. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Jennifer.
Halo going.
How was birthday weekend?
Or is it Call of Duty?
It's Call of Duty. Let's not get that mistaken. And birthday weekend was actually really good.
Cool.
Had a great time.
It wasn't ruined by Ty Jerome.
No, I refrained myself from getting angry this weekend. So
that's growth.
Yeah.
That is growth.
I had to turn a new leaf this year.
Froggy, what do you got for us today in the mixed bag?
I'd like to start the mixed bag with a little bit of tough love.
Okay.
This is from an organization I actually hate and a couple people who I also hate, but I love seeing a little bit of viral activity involving Jayson Tatum on the ground whining.
Oh my God.
And Joe Mazzulla refusing his medic to enter the game and telling him to just get up.
The officials will obviously look at that.
So as trainers about to go in the game, you have Jayson Tatum whining on the floor.
Whining, dude.
And he just yells at him, get up.
Just yells, get up. First, he stops the trainer from entering, like you said.
So do you think he hates Jayson Tatum?
I think he's just tired of.
I think he's tired of theatrics.
Jayson Tatum, by the way, not carried at all once again by everybody else on the Celtics to a win. Look at the postseason.
They got a good team.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do have a good team, but he does seem to get away with the least amount of production for.
Because they got a really good team. They got 5 guys who can score 30.
Did you know who else has a good team? Donovan Mitchell. I didn't see him sitting idly by, going 8 for 22 and scoring 17 points.
That's true.
That's true.
Do you think Derek White ever goes around and he goes, I'm really carrying this bum all the time?
Crazy. We were talking about how.
Well, we know Jaylen Brown does.
No doubt.
Anthony Edwards leads the league in threes, like we mentioned earlier, followed by, I think you mentioned it was Malik Beasley and Steph Curry.
Did you see Jayson Tatum's mom was yelling on his way to get x-rays? Do you want me to go to the Orlando locker room?
What? Really?
Mom?
Really?
Wow.
Mama
That explains a lot. That explains why he wailed on the ground. So, wait, didn't he come back and play?
Yeah, he was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
Totally fine.
What do we need? Hey, hold on. Let me tell you something how it works in my sport. They take you in the back to get x-rays. Something better be wrong. Or you ain't gonna never live it down. Like, when I got taken to the locker room, I had to get my lips stitched back together. So I don't know what, usually when you go to the locker room, you're not coming back.
QC says underrated Brad Stevens knows how to build a team, Tobin. Well, first of all, I mean, he couldn't stomach coaching. Let's do number one. Second of all, he didn't even draft the 2 supposed top guys. His big trade of Drew Holiday fell in his lap because Joe Cronin was a petty bastard. Derek White, I'll give him props on.
Yeah, it's fine.
Al Horford's 100 years old.
Porzingis
barely played last year. He barely plays.
All right.
Good for him. Brad Stevens. You think anybody on that team really likes Jayson Tatum if the coach is acting like that?
No way.
I can't think of a time where, especially your star player, the coach hasn't run out there. Not yell, get up. Could you imagine Spo doing that to LeBron?
Stopping the medical staff from going in.
LeBron's a bigger star than Tatum.
Get up.
They say,
I mean, there was probably a time Spo and LeBron didn't see eye to eye, as we
Yeah,
know.
but Spo still wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't refuse medical treatment.
Right. I'm just saying.
The officials will obviously look at that.
Are we sure he was yelling at Jayson Tatum?
Oh, he had to. Who else?
Otherwise, we've had a totally useless conversation.
Get up, you bum.
You sure he didn't say get him?
No way, because he stopped the guy from going in, and he says,
"Oh, he did armbar train the dude."
That's what I'm saying. And he just yells, "Get up!"
I was definitely get up.
Oh man, I saw something crazy. I was driving, and I drove next to this truck, right? And the driver was right next to me.
What?
The steering wheel was on the right.
Like he was from London?
Yeah.
I don't like
Caught
that.
me off guard because he had his right arm. He was driving like this.
I'm bringing some fingers and mash to Davy.
It caught me off. No, but usually those cars, it's old and raggedy. It ain't a new one.
So it was, you know what? I had pictured like an 18-wheeler for some reason. So you're telling me it was just like a pickup truck?
No, it was like a Cherokee or something like that. But I didn't know what brand.
You could have your car shipped over here.
You said it was a Cherokee?
It was like a Cherokee
Like a
or something
Jeep?
like that.
So it was like a smaller SUV.
Yeah.
What else you got in the mixed bag, Marcos?
We mentioned that the only drama surrounding the draft at the moment involves Shedeur Sanders, and his father, Deion Sanders, is upset with critics of Shedeur. He's had enough of all the trash talk surrounding his son's name. This is prime.
Tire jerseys can be a sore subject.
Not really. This is the first time I ever seen it sore. I don't know if you know it, but I'm retired, man. I think every jersey Darren I played in is retired, so I'm pretty familiar with this. So it's never been sore.
But why do you think that? What was your message like? Maybe Buff Nation and Buff alums who are
I don't have a
why
message. I'm praying for my AD. I love him to life, Rick George. Let's get the elephant out the room. I don't want to talk about this too long. I'm gonna just talk briefly and let it go. We talking about Shedeur. We ain't talking about nobody else. His last name wasn't Sanders. We wouldn't have this discussion. The only reason we were having this discussion is his last name is Sanders. Okay? That's it. It's been so many things accomplished at this university expeditiously. It's been unbelievable.
All right. Yeah, there's a lot of people are upset because Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter are getting their jerseys retired. People feel like there are Colorado Buffaloes more worthy, like Cordell Stewart. Why they don't have their jerseys retired.
Want to say who's the running back that went there? Not Bieniemy. Did Salam when he was at Penn State or was he Colorado? Rashawn Salam.
Yeah.
He's Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he win the Heisman?
Yes, he did.
Okay. I was just curious. Like when they talk about Colorado, I'm like, wait a minute, they don't even mention him. His number's not retired, is it?
No.
Right.
I think they're the first Buffaloes to get retired. That's why people are making a statement.
But I will say this. One of the things about Hall of Fames and retired jerseys is you want people to look at those jerseys and remember the time in which they played. And I would say this. The last couple of years, when those two guys have been in Colorado, there's never been more attention paid on Colorado football.
Definitely in this era.
Right. And so from that standpoint, can you talk about Colorado football in 2023 and 24 without mentioning those two guys and the impact they had on, let alone the football team, but the fan base, television ratings, everything. So whereas I would say, what if a guy only went to college and played for Colorado for 2 years?
They retired Salam's number, but not till after he died.
Right. See, so now did they retire because he won the Heisman or because he died? That's my point.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he died in 2016. They retired it in 2017, much after he won the Heisman. So.
Right. So I do believe that although it seems kind of quick, right? Nobody's jersey usually gets retired till like you've either played in the NFL or went on.
That's definitely what stands out. But I think what probably what people are, because I don't care about this. let him do it. He runs the team. But I think
Right.
probably what people are saying is like, hey, Deion Sanders is probably not long for Colorado. He's gonna make a jump to the NFL eventually.
You
Most
think?
likely. Yeah, I do. Which
You
I'm fine.
think?
Yeah. But while he's at Colorado, he's gonna, make it. He's gonna hey, you guys are gonna remember the impact we had at Colorado, whatever it is. And maybe that doesn't happen if Deion were to leave. Maybe he feels like, oh, they won't give the right proper because our Heisman Trophy winner didn't get his jersey retired until he was dead.
Right.
So
here's Esim says Shedeur hate smells similar to Lamar hate when he was coming out. I would say it was even worse for Lamar because he was so athletic. They deemed him an athlete instead of a quarterback. And so that's why a lot of the stuff, in fact, Bill Polian suggested he come into the league and play wide receiver.
Sure did.
And we never saw him on TV again. Right? So I would say it does have a little of that, but for different reasons. See, one of the problems that I have with, and it's not even Shedeur, but it's the league, is that if you draft a guy without fully understanding what he needs to flourish and just make the assumption he's going to come and fix it, then shame on you. Shedeur's not a scrambler. He doesn't possess that athletic ability to escape, right? And so from that standpoint, you can't compare him to other guys. Same thing with Cam Ward. Cam Ward is not fleet of foot. But the difference between Cam Ward and Shedeur is I've seen Cam Ward make plenty of on-time throws and accurate throws, right? I don't know if Shedeur could do that. So that means that your infrastructure, how your team is built, who you have around him, how's your blocking scheme, what offense are you running? All those things matter with Shedeur.
Canes have a football jersey retirement policy. Must be 10 years removed from playing his last game as a Miami Hurricane.
Right. Right. And it makes more sense.
Although, if they decided to retire Cam Ward's jersey right now, I'd be like, absolutely.
Right now?
Right now. Best quarterback season in the history of the program.
But he wasn't even the best quarterback here.
But
of course he was.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
But even for having
you telling me, hold on, Tobin, this man is telling me that Cam Ward was the greatest Miami quarterback in the history of Miami football.
Yep.
Absolutely not.
He's one of. I mean, he got all the records.
He's one of.
The thing is, when you're a program like the Hurricanes, Marcos, like to be immediate. If he would have won the national championship, I would have said yes. But when you're,
I'm still not picking him over.
It's not his fault.
I'm not picking him over Ken Dorsey.
What? God bless Ken Dorsey, but
there's no quarterback that's won more. There's no quarterback that's won more at the University of Miami than Ken Dorsey.
He was literally on the greatest team of all time. Literally the greatest.
And there was a reason for it.
Okay, no. But
I'm not going to fight you over this. I'm going to go to break. I'm going to go break right now.
Vinny Testaverde, Jim Kelly, Bernie Kosar.
We're going to go to break. I'm going to smack you upside the head, and you're going to apologize to Ken Dorsey. Back after this.
WQAM broadcasting live from the
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Let's get the headlines brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory of Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. John Cena is a 17-time world champion. He wins at WrestleMania last night over Cody Rhodes.
Wow.
Via nefarious action.
Nefarious. I'm gonna be honest.
Which is not what John Cena is supposed to be about, by the way.
This Travis Scott has got to go.
What?
Why is he involved in this?
Apparently he's there because The Rock was too lazy to show up to WrestleMania. Where was The Rock last night? Doesn't he own the WWE?
Yeah, Dwayne.
I thought he had a piece. I thought he had a big piece now. Like he didn't want to show up to WrestleMania?
Probably making one of them $20 million movies.
What's he doing this time? Is he
I don't know,
jumping
but
from a volcano to a skyscraper?
You know what movie blew up? The Minecraft movie.
Oh yeah.
It blew
Yeah,
up.
I was seeing that last night. Everyone just went crazy over it.
Crazy.
I already saw Minecraft with my son. I saw it.
It made like 80 million the second week.
Did they behave?
But it lost to Sinners. Sinners was the #1 movie this weekend.
Oh, Sinners.
I want to see that.
You know what? Fonz went and saw it.
Sinners?
That looks good.
Looks good.
Yeah, I'm asking him about it. Hey, so I was, during the break, I went
Heard
to
Josh Allen would not be a fan.
I was like doing some stuff and getting ready to go get something to drink. And I look outside. I open the window.
Uh-huh.
Two dogs are looking in at me. And I'm like,
they escaped.
Hold on. I didn't let you out. And so I banged on the door. I ran to the window. Ran to the back door, and they were already back in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Is Rock shooting Jumanji 3? It's not the same without Kevin Hart.
There were reports that The Rock was seen driving in Hawaii the night before or the day of night 1 of WrestleMania.
Is it because like him and Cena are beefing? Like Cena didn't want him to one up him because like they've always kind of had a thing like Cena, you're not The Rock, and then now he's trying to do the movie thing. So did like Cena not want him stealing shine? Is that what's going on there?
Well, they're aligned now. They're a part of an alliance. It's Cena. It's The Rock.
I honestly like Cena's movies better.
Cena's funny. Cena is a funny guy.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah. The Rock, though, handsome.
Agreed.
So is Cena.
Well,
don't mess with Cena.
I would think The Rock has had a better movie career than John Cena.
Yeah, as of now, it's safe to say that.
As of now,
I saw the other viral clip that I saw on Twitter yesterday was Stone Cold riding his four-wheeler and crashing into a woman on the barrier.
Yeah.
And the CEO of WWE went to that woman immediately. Now, I don't know. It's wrestling, so I don't know what's real and what's not real. But it didn't look like Stone Cold meant to crash into that woman.
That was not supposed to happen.
You think she's getting free tickets for life?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Get free tickets for life.
I mean, when golfers, what golfers do when they hit people with golf balls?
Oh, what do they do?
What do they do?
Sign a glove.
Sign a glove.
Wow. Dave Bautista, better actor than both of them.
You know what?
Yeah, but
that's a hot
dude
take.
is.
I appreciate
every movie he does, he's a different damn color. So I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't
recognize him.
What's he done besides Guardians of the Galaxy?
He did a movie. He did a horror movie in which I believe he had.
Wait, the one of the cabin or whatever?
Cabin in the Woods.
I don't like that movie. It is ridiculous. Please stop. That's not a good movie.
There you go. So you're hurting your case.
Not a good movie.
Hurting the case of Batista's better than. Although I will say, in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's really funny.
See, look at that
ensemble cast though. Like, could he carry that by himself? The Rock to me is still the biggest star.
Well, because
nobody really goes to see
about
a John Cena movie.
Yeah, but think about when Guardians of the Galaxy started. We were like, Chris Pratt, okay.
What do you mean? I love Chris Pratt.
No, I know, but it was
I
like,
loved him since Parks and Rec. He was so funny.
But it's like it's almost like it was a one-off Marvel movie, and then it kind of stuck. Same thing with what's her face? She's always crazy colors in movies. She's been green, blue.
Zoe Saldana?
Yeah.
A retro vibe of an IMDb.
Yeah. And even the other chick, her sister, she's the girl from Jumanji.
I never saw the new Jumanji, dude. You keep referencing it. I never saw it.
Really? They had 2 of them.
I saw the original Jumanji with Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, yeah. But no, this one, even with Kevin Hart.
Nope.
Like, I didn't care about the movie either. I'm like, oh, great, another remake. Until they showed the scene of The Rock carrying Kevin Hart through the woods.
Is Kevin Hart doing anything but just cashing giant commercial checks right now?
I don't know. Is he touring? I think he does.
What is he doing besides that?
Nothing. I mean, he's in a movie. He's in 2 movies a year.
Is he? I don't even think he's in movies anymore. I feel like all I see him in is DraftKings commercials and insurance commercials, and that's it. He's being Kevin Hart. He's making oodles of money.
Yeah.
If you want to see him, actually, you can catch him live in Abu Dhabi on May 2nd.
I thought this was going to be like an improv promo for a second.
Yeah. And if for some reason you can't catch him there, don't worry. You can catch him in Belfast, United Kingdom, the night after.
It's a funny man.
Yeah. So I told you he's probably doing touring.
It seems like he's doing a European tour because then he goes to Dublin after that.
The lowest of the tours.
Oh, wait. Oh, my goodness. Hey, so if we couldn't understand Patty the Batty, are they going to be able to understand Kevin Hart?
I don't think it's reversed. I think they'll be fine. Did you see Patty Pimblett has put on 42 pounds since winning?
Yes,
I saw that.
Oh my God, that's got to be a record, right?
He said he had 5.
That's worse than the James Harden fat suit.
He said he had 5 milkshakes. He said on the Bruce Buffer podcast 5 milkshakes after winning against Michael Chandler. That has to make Michael Chandler incensed with rage because Michael Chandler's sitting here just eating, clean, just ripped to shreds, and Patty the Batty's like, yes, fighting is over.
Al Mackey says comedians usually tour before releasing a special.
That's true, but not the Euro tour. Can't trust him with the phones.
You don't take my phone. I'm gonna film it.
There, boy.
Better do old bitch love.
Take a break. That's great. After this,
WQAM.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 15 minutes of heat. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Also get to some cat talk here. Both brought to you by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment at Hollywood Kia. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. The Panthers, they will get going tomorrow against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Paul Maurice. Shh, secrets. Not saying if Tkachuk is going. He says, we will decide after morning skate. Keep you on your toes, Lightning. You like that, Kucherov? Wow.
I told you. I don't think he's playing.
I think he's playing, dude. I think he's playing.
Okay.
I think he's playing.
Okay.
I think he's playing.
I got pretty good
practicing.
I got some pretty good sources.
So, you got sauces?
Excuse me, you're not.
You have cat sources?
What do you know?
I wouldn't know a blue line if it was right over his shirt.
Hey, I certainly wouldn't know a blue line if I asked you.
But all of a sudden he's got a Panthers source.
I know people, dude.
Who you know?
That is not for me to disclose.
So when's he gonna be back?
He might miss a game or two.
So he's coming back with Ekblad?
I'm assuming that's what that means.
Little head games with the Lightning.
How discreet.
Beat him without Matthew Tkachuk and then beat him with Matthew Tkachuk. Whatever, dude. It's cats and 5. It doesn't really matter.
You got to move it somewhere.
This team's getting worked. This Tampa Bay team. Well, if you got the sources, then don't ask me any hockey questions anymore. I'm sick of it. I don't have sources.
Honestly, you just said I don't know what a blue line is, but when I don't know something and I ask you.
That's my point. If you got sources, stop asking me questions.
All right.
That's my point. His source is David Dwork, isn't it?
Of course.
Come on.
It's not David Dwork.
The Hockey Hornet, huh?
The Hockey
Doug?
Hornet. The Hockey Hornet. That's how it goes. Wow. All right. Well, we'll see what gets going tomorrow. Very excited about that. You, of course, can hear that on 560 WQAM. It's going to be exciting. The Heat, they'll be back in action on Wednesday. Davion Mitchell, let's hear a little bit from him. Davion Mitchell talked about the 50-50 balls that the Heat have to get to. Did get beat to a lot of those yesterday. And Davion Mitchell, sick of it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of 50-50 balls, a lot of offensive rebounds and kick-out threes, a lot of loose balls that we'll get next time, and that kind of changed the game. I think that even when we were down 5, we get those clean rebounds, we get our run, we cut it to 3, cut it down in one possession game, and we'll be good, but we'll be fine.
Get going on Wednesday. Here was a little bit more from Davion Mitchell on the game yesterday.
Be disruptive, stop overthinking, do what we've been doing all year. No matter how good they are, we can be disruptive. They're humans just like us, so we just got to be able to make plays. I think if our mindset is to make plays on the defensive end, we'll do it.
I want to see Ware. All right. It's time, he got his feet wet. All right, now it's time for swimming. Jović. What?
I don't know what the deal is with Jović.
What the deal is that he's had a broken hand and he hasn't played since February 23rd.
No, I know, but it seems like, to be honest, that they couldn't wait for him to get back, and he gets back and.
Oh, I don't think that's true. I think Erik Spoelstra is people who are 6'5" and defend hard, that's like his safety blanket. So you're gonna have to pry Haywood Highsmith and Kyle Anderson from his cold dead hands.
Okay.
If I told Spo today, hey Spo, talented 6'11" guys back. But I have Kyle Anderson, yes. I don't know why I made him a warlock there. But that is how I imagine it. He goes, but I I got slow-mo. You're going to have to, we'll say slow-mo, big shots in the playing game.
Oh, needed those.
That being said, Jović, dude, we need Jović out there. I'm telling you right now, this guy is going to spin the playoffs on its head. They're going to be like, what is this? You need a wild card. You got a wild card up your sleeve, Spo, and you choose not to play it? It's like you having the challenges. You don't want to use it.
Oh, man, he really doesn't like using challenges. The players are to the point where they don't even throw up the finger to suggest it.
I am beside myself. Stun Steve says he threw up an air ball yesterday. Oh, okay. I had a couple of people talk about this. Some real wise asses. Wow. So sorry in the game that was 20 points down that in the 90 seconds he got to play basketball, where he got to put his hand on a basketball on a real court for the first time in 8 weeks. So sorry that he didn't hit baskets immediately. Maybe if you gave him a real opportunity in a basketball game, things would change, but you guys want to be rat bastards about it. Let's stop acting like he was out here with a hurt hammy. Enough of the nonsense. Do you want to win or do you want to win? Get Jović on the floor already. I'm tired of waiting. This is nonsense. We got a game against this giant-ass Cleveland team, and we're gonna go down swinging with slow-mo? Respectfully, of course, slow-mo.
Yeah, big shots.
And Alec Burks, nice find. Good for him. Pros pro. Who's called Alec Burks a pros pro more than me? Nobody. But I got to sit here and I can't have Pelle Larsson? What are we doing? Okay? Get these young bucks out on the floor. Give them a real taste. Enough of this. I am so sick of having to go out here and be the only voice of sanity. You're gonna give Ware 18 minutes against that team? Are you kidding me? I understand. He had frying pan hands yesterday.
Oh.
It was bad. But you know what? Repetition, repetition, repetition. You don't know until you're out there knowing. So it's time for Spo to know and give Ware some more PT. The warehouse is open, and what we're storing right now is experience.
Well, you can only get experience if you play.
Exactly, Leroy.
I mean, they've been saying this all year.
He couldn't wait to go away. He's like, He goes, Ware looks skittish. More 6'6" people.
Any chance we see Keyshawn Johnson in this series?
Zero
chance. Right.
Except in garbage time like you did yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, meaningful minutes, you're saying?
Yes.
0% chance.
Well, Jaime Jaquez.
0% chance.
All right.
0. Terry Rozier, 0.
Well, I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm okay with that. Remember, 40-point game from Jaime. Huh? Maybe
against the Wizards, dude, though.
Against the Wizards.
The Wizards games do not count. They don't count.
Right.
Terry Rozier and Jaime Jaquez's best performances all year were against the Wizards. You could show up with just those two against the Wizards. They might win the game. 2-on-5. Or lose at the buzzer like they did. Because Jaime did get cooked on that last play.
Yeah, he did.
Ooh.
Oh, Carrington. And Tyler Herro, hey, quick feet. Let's go. I'm not going to go through this.
Tyler.
Another year.
Why we look, if this team is going to win or lose with Tyler Herro playing defense, it's over.
Oh, I don't need him to lock anybody up, but I need him to try. And yesterday, this was oof.
I mean, it is against Spider.
It was against Spider, but Tyler Jerome too.
And the other guard is even quicker.
I got a stat.
Garland.
Oh, okay.
This is from Keith Smith, NBA. Okay. per NBA matchup data. The Cavs guard trio of Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Ty Jerome targeted Tyler Herro on 36 total possessions. The Cavs guards combined for 29 points on those 36 possessions. The Cavs as a team combined for a whopping 64 points on 36 possessions. Now, I don't know what all that means, but it doesn't sound good.
That's great. Does not sound good. It does not.
When you use the term whopping,
Yeah,
that's not good. So, Tyler, put it behind you. I believe that you can be a monster in these playoffs. I believe in you, buddy. But you got to show it. I mean, it's been a while. You got to show it. Both ends. Well, like mostly on the offensive end, but just a little better on the defensive end.
Yeah. Get that steal. Like
just a little better. Just I'm not expecting you to be the glove out there.
It sounds like you are.
I'm expecting you to be the glove.
I mean, at what point are we going to, more importantly, talk about who he's trying to defend and that difficult task?
It's a hell of a task.
Okay.
But, hey, then go get some more points on the other side.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You got to be better at what you do.
All right, take a break. A little all right. Oh, no. To close things out.
The Heat opened up
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy. WQAM's Whiskey, Stars, and Cigars, presented by Edmore Sawgrass Automall, is back on Friday, May 9th at Tabacón at Plantation Walk. Talk sports unfiltered with WQAM sports staff. Enjoy a whiskey and a cigar from Drew Estate. It's free, but space is limited. RSVP now at WQAM.com to reserve your spot at Whiskey, Stars, and Cigars at Tabacón at Plantation Walk. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Automall, your 2024 Dealer of the Year. 22 acres of new and pre-owned Chevys, Cadillacs, and Buicks. Visit them online, edmoresawgrass.com. My all right is for our audience. You want to know why?
Why is that?
You want to know why, Leroy?
Why is that, Tobin?
Because right now, I'm going to give away a pair. Was it a pair or 4-pack?
Well, it's a pair of 4-day.
A pair of 4-day passes.
Oh, let me do it.
To Rockville. The Daytona International Speedway, May 15th through the 18th.
Oh, happy birthday to me.
And we are giving away
and Sophie
a pair of 4-day general admission passes to see Shinedown, Green Day, Linkin Park, Skeleton Drool, Korn. Those are among those who are performing. So keep on listening all week for your chance to win.
Doesn't Linkin Park have a female singer now?
They do. Yes, they do.
Rockville.
So if you guys want to win right now, caller number caller 6 to 305-567-0560. Caller 6 to 305-567-0560. Son Steve goes, Skeleton Drool is made up. Thank you for the you get the
I didn't know that Green Day was going to be a part of it, so that's cool.
How about that?
Green Day, Linkin Park.
They're still
Thank you
doing.
for letting me know.
If you guys want to go to Rockville,
Skeleton Drool,
Rockville,
a 4-day general admission tickets right
That's
now.
a good band name, being that Skeletons Can't Drool.
That's the man. That's the
pretty good one.
guys. Hey, nothing gets
Pretty
special.
good.
You're good. You're good. My oh no goes to Sandy Alcantara. Hey, listen.
He just came back from a serious injury.
He
just had a baby.
Oh, get out of here, dude. What athlete who's a star? How many starts do I give him? Because he was Sandy's meatballs this weekend. He said, this is from Kevin Barrell from Fish on First. Quote, I don't feel happy about the job I've been doing the past couple starts. I think it's time for me to get back into Sandy mode and just be out there every 5th day and do what I do.
Yeah.
You're right. Sandy mode would be get some people out, dude. Now, look, I understand. You feel like buzzards are circling over you because prospects, but I still need you to go out there. Sandy, we win a game like we did yesterday, and you're normally you. That's a series win. Instead, people are saying they're using the W word with you, and I don't like it.
What's the W word?
Washed.
I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Okay.
Oh, I love the way you throw stuff out there.
That's just what they're saying.
That's not me.
That's not me. People are saying that.
Although me was the one talking about the slow meatball and the fast meatball.
Oh, dude, if I see Cal Quantrill one more time on a Marlins mound right now, I'm telling this guy, he's got 2 pitches. 2 pitches.
Okay.
All right. He's got fast meatball and slow meatball. This dude is throwing up some juicy ones.
He's throwing up those Moderados top meatballs.
Woo! Anyway, that's my oh no. What's your all right and oh no today, Leroy?
My all right goes to Justin Thomas. Hasn't won in a couple of years. Finally won at a really difficult golf course. And it was won in the playoff. Didn't lose it. Nobody lost it. He just won it. Made a 20-plus footer to win it at the end. So good for him. Glad he's back on track. fun seeing them play. My oh no. I know you guys are going to hate this, but I was leaving Publix on Saturday. And I walked across the little crosswalk.
Yep.
Right? A lady blew right through the stop sign. So I threw my hands up. She shot me the bird and yelled, "Watch where you're walking."
Wow. So he followed.
So now you're a crosswalk guard.
I'm not a crosswalk guard. I'd like to not get hit. There's a stop sign there.
What
For
was
some
the
reason, I
description
feel
of
like
this woman?
everything finds you.
Huh?
What was the description of this woman?
Yeah.
Not gonna say.
Why? It's past Lent. You can just say you can't say it because you can't just say it without adding on.
The evilness of this woman
had
nothing to do with the hair on her chin and the extra neck rolls.
He's back.
Wow.
He is
He's
back,
back
ladies
in
and
Sandy
gentlemen.
mode. Okay. Listen, I didn't yell. I could have yelled some, it was the day before Easter, so I couldn't say anything.
You definitely got it.
I was just like, wow, I got the finger and yelled at for walking in the crosswalk. Like, yeah, man, that's it.
All right,
so I said, I'm not going to yell anything right now because we're still in Lent. But you will be my oh no on Monday.
Jennifer, off your birthday weekend, what is your
Oh, yeah.
Well, this new year of life started out very smoothly, very nice. And I celebrated with a very small group of people, and it was nice because normally when it's a big group, you can't necessarily talk to everyone, and that's one of my frustrations because I want to make sure everyone feels included. But yeah, it went very well. And my oh no goes to Teslas.
Teslas.
Teslas. I have a friend this weekend who had a flat tire, and during a big emergency,
Or you can't get them out there to fix it.
wow, how do you do this?
You have to have a special
electric cars.
Yep.
Oh, they don't have like regular. They don't have.
No.
You have to go on the app, and then they have to send someone out, but they can't even like fix the problem right there
So
on
if you have
site. They have to
If
take
you have
it
a flat
to-
tire, they have to take your car.
They take your car to the agency. Okay, they don't have like a on-site.
Are flat tires
fix.
super rare with Teslas?
I don't know,
It's
but
the-
they don't even
it's
have
the-
spares.
It's the tire. So the tire is a special tire. So a
Not
buddy
for
of
me.
mine told me it happened to him in Orlando. He was up in Orlando and got a flat tire, and he had to go rent a car to get back. And then he went back and got his car.
Ridiculous. Absolutely
Convenience
ridiculous.
space mobile.
I
Froggy?
mean, probably shouldn't get flat tires. I know.
How do you stop that?
I know. I mean, you know what the price
Oh,
is.
and then we tried putting some air in the tire, but Tesla doesn't have it. Only has USBs. It doesn't have like the
It has a USB drive to put air in it.
no, like they only have USBs. Like they don't have like how we're able to connect
air
or like a pump. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gets
their pump.
So
thing is
we
different.
had to move one of the cars next to that car in order to use that little socket. Like it's ridiculous. These cars are not convenient.
What do you got for us, Froggy?
My all right goes to WrestleMania 41. Just took place yesterday in Viva Las Vegas, a 2-night event that held over 120,000 people apparently. So my kudos goes to them putting on a great event. John Cena, like we mentioned, won a title for the 17th time. But this also leads into my oh no.
Oh?
What the hell are we doing with this Travis Scott thing?
Oh no!
Like, what are we really doing? I just don't understand. He gave poor Cody Rhodes a black eye the first time because he doesn't know how to throw a punch in the wrestling world.
Well, he pulled the referee out. That's a classic wrestling heel move. Is when the referee starts his count 1, 2. Oh no, he's pulled out of the ring. Now, why the referee's 3 count doesn't count? I don't understand that in real wrestling. Like, why can't the referee count 3 from the sidelines? He has to hit the mat. That's
what's also crazy?
He's knocked out for an hour.
Wrestling has the longest 3 counts ever.
Oh,
1, 2.
The guy gets his,
and then all of a sudden the guy gets the power of Thor.
Yeah. Puts the finger wag.
Yeah. I'm like, you got a minute and a half on the 3 count. You should be able to get your energy back.
So they bullied that poor John Cena into getting a hair transplant.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna be a wrestler, you might.
He has hair.
He does.
Yeah,
he's got the buzz cut, but it's kind of you look back there. He's got a bit of a retractable roof back there.
Yeah.
Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah.
The old Cowboy Stadium. You can see midfield from the top.
Hey, don't make fun of John Cena.
Why?
That's my dude.
Oh, okay.
All
right. Okay.
All right. No cropping him out.
Yeah, I mean, he can't
Can't
even
crop him out.
And what's your no?
Well, I don't know it was Travis Scott because why the hell is he involved in this?
But that's so they're both. You all right because you enjoyed it, but you no because all right.
Oh, it was a lot of other moments.
I thought you would have gone with Max Strus for changing.
Stupid Max Strus. I don't even want to
Tired
talk
of
about
his
that.
ass.
Hey,
That should be your oh no because you have not stopped mentioning.
you've never stopped.
Max Strus and his hair.
It's disappointing. You always say
I got Max Strus confused with the other intangible.
they have a lot of intangibles on that team.
Oh,
I'm still not sure what Ty Jerome is qualified as.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say he's not because I'm going to play it safe. But
Well,
that
let me
Merrill,
see. Let's ask the basic intangible questions.
Hmm?
Did he dunk?
Oh,
Did he show great feats of athleticism?
that's good. That's good. Or did he just show grit and good shooting?
I thought he showed good shooting and poise.
Well, I think we got our answer.
Hey, the definition of intangible: grit and good shooting.
Good point.
That is our show for today, everybody. We will talk to you rascals tomorrow. Alexander Ovechkin. Oh, Putin's a fan.
Yep.
He's now the all-time goals leader. Congratulations to Ovi. Yesterday he scored the goal, then slid on his belly like a penguin.
Got lucky.
What? 20 years.
He's no Crosby.
I mean, I guess not championships. But
By the way, we haven't even acknowledged Ovechkin.
I literally just did that.
Oh, sorry.
No way.
I see y'all when I see y'all.
Middays.